podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm hustling.
I don't fear anyone. En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie. You don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes. As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again. ¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nesta Gibbs, Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. You already know, Solo Dolo, Scarface, No Manolo. I'm alone. We rocking out. We talking heavyweight boxing. Looks like Andy Ruiz is set to come back. You know, I've been, I don't want to say excited, but I am excited for the return of Andy Ruiz. I don't know that I'm excited for this particular fight. Now, it's funny because we know that they're listening. I say that so much, but every day it's becoming more and more true, right? I mean, we talked about this fight here, I don't know how many, a year ago, right after Andy won the belt, you know, we thought maybe he could get out of that rematch and this would have been the perfect pay-per-view while he was still a unified champion. I don't know that this is going to be a good move to put it on Fox pay-per-view coming off of a loss. You know, I guess at one point I felt like this was a good fight and I understand it being on pay-per-view. But when you think about the facts, and the facts are Andy won his belt on non-pay-per-view, lost it on non-pay-per-view, and now will come back after a loss on pay-per-view. So it doesn't make any sense. I see people saying, oh, well, if it was $20, if it was $50, I don't know. We haven't seen a downgrade in price on pay-per-view in so long. I mean, obviously, Mike Tyson's pay-per-view was a completely separate price, and they did fantastic, I believe, at $1.9 million. But, you know, boxing, full-blown boxing hasn't done that yet. They haven't lowered the price down. We're consistently paying $80 for an HD pay-per-view. So I don't know that anyone who's putting their fighters on pay-per-view is going to be really interested in losing those extra funds that are on the table at $80 per pay-per-view. Now, I've been following this closely on Twitter just to see what everyone else feels. And, you know, some feel that it'll do 150,000 pay-per-views. I've seen that number floating around a lot. And, you know, 150 is technically a bad number, you know, but 150 is still a good number for a fight that nobody wants, right? Arreola is allegedly retired and finished, right? He's washed up, according to the hardcore boxing fans that don't agree with this fight. So that's still a pretty good, you know, estimation that it does 150, even with a dance partner that no one is really excited about, right? Like, I think that it was supposed to be Adam Kovnacki and Andy Ruiz a long time ago, but, you know, Adam suffered that knockout loss at the hands of Robert Helenius, and, you know, he was able to get out of the Arreola fight. So having both PBC heavyset heavyweights go at it, and then, it'll be the battle of the two last men standing, which would have been now Adam and Ruiz. But again, Adam lost at the hands of Hellenius after he got through with Arreola, and it definitely put a hamper in and slowed those plans down. But it seems like PBC is still trying to go forth. Look, I think we all understand business now on this show. We talk about it on a daily level. It just makes financial sense for PBC to see what they have in the product that is Andy Ruiz. Not only did Andy still beat the unified champion in Anthony Joshua, but I believe he's on the minds of many people. Many people are intrigued and interested to see what happens when he comes back. Many people are intrigued and interested to see the combination of he and Eddie Reynoso together. Many people, especially me, are interested to see how he looks now that he's with an elite level camp. Not to say that Manuel Robles wasn't elite level, it's just the camp. The stablemates are there to push you. They're there to spar with you. They're there to motivate you to be great. Some don't need motivation, and I get it. But we know, based off Andy's body from his last fight with Anthony Joshua, he could use a slight bit of motivation to keep him on track. Now with Garcia, Ryan Garcia getting a knockdown and stoppage, Valdez getting a knockdown and stoppage, Canelo getting a stoppage, the ball is in Andy Ruiz's court. What could Andy do? It's been a year, ladies and gentlemen, that he's been just locked in training with Eddie Reynoso. So that's what I'm most interested is seeing how he bounces back. What will he look like in this fight with Eddie? Will we really see any changes in his game, in his physique, in his demeanor, in his stamina, in his endurance? Will we see a better left hook, since that's what it seems that the Reynosos focus on over there? Canelo's left hook, amazing. Valdez left hook, I'm not going to say amazing, a little bit wide, but he still got the knockout with it. And you got Ryan, who, won with a body shot left hook. So these boys are working, and everyone else's performance has me excited to see Andy Ruiz's return to the ring. TBV is actually at 117,968 subscribers, so we're looking for about 40 more soldiers to sign up and take us to the next level of 118,000. And let me tell you, the 118,000 person to subscribe, I'm going to let you talk to Teofimo Lopez Sr. today, who's scheduled to be on the show at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. West Coast, and I guess 5 p.m. Central, right? No, wait, 8 p.m. Central. 8 p.m. Central. So I see the haters are out, people that don't even live in America. They have nothing to do with this pay-per-view. They won't be paying for it. Salty, mad, jealous that they don't have superstars the way that we do. Jealous that they only have one or two guys in the UK asking us, are we going to pay for Ruiz to see if he looks better? No, we're going to pay because we love boxing. We're going to pay the same reason we paid to see Mike Tyson at 50-plus years old fight Roy Jones. We're going to pay because we are degenerate boxing fans, because that's what we do every day, every weekend. That's why we're not paying to see his weight loss. We are intrigued by it. But we're not paying to see his weight loss. The hatred is real. You guys can laugh and say we're paying to see a fat boy for $80, but guess what? We got to see him kick your guys' ass for free. How about that? It was absolutely free. We'll never, ever forget, I'm coming to take over, not take part, and got his ass kicked. So, maybe we should leave the past in the past, right? The same way Andy used to be fat. Maybe we leave the past in the past, let bygones be bygones, and then allow these fighters to do the talking instead of you chatty patties in the fucking chat. You know what I mean? That never swung a punch in your life. We got Fabio. I'm from the UK, and I'm excited to see Andy back. Thank you, Fabio. At least there are some real boxing fans over there and not just man fans of AJ. Because that's what this is about. Because this guy beat AJ, they're upset. Because this guy beat AJ, they're upset. So anything to discredit him, to make him look less and less of a superstar, make it look more and more like it wasn't an official win, like it was a fluke. That's the game they want to play. They want to have you believe that Andy did that by mistake and he's just a fat slob. And that's why they have those comments. That's why they're upset that the possibility of Andy on pay-per-view is even being brought up. And guess what? You UK hater that said we're going to pay $80 to watch him lose weight or see if he lost weight. Because he beat your champion's ass, it's even being talked about a pay-per-view. Just remember that. He would have never been on pay-per-view had he not beat the shit out of AJ. That's the fucking difference here. You guys are mad, but you created the monster. Your weak-ass champion got chipped up by a fat boy. You understand? And now you mad that he's on pay-per-view. No. This is the way of the sport. You beat the man, you become some sort of a man in this sport. And that's just it. Don't be mad. Don't be mad, UK. It's all right. It's all right. You'll be all right. But as far as the matchup, I do think it's a great matchup. It's just difficult to understand their reasoning on pay-per-view. I don't know, maybe they heard me so much because I definitely was pumping this one on pay-per-view. But it would be a good opportunity to have Andy fight on Fox. Andy and Arreola on Fox, similar to Burchell and Valdez on ESPN. Bringing those big Mexican-American numbers. Put Andy in the eyes of millions and then build towards a pay-per-view event. That is what I would like to see, but I understand that they're taking their chance. They're taking their opportunity at testing and checking Andy's marketability and his conversion rate. Can he convert some of these Mexican fans that watched him become the first Mexican heavyweight into buying pay-per-view fans? Real quick, don't forget, in 2 weeks, March 13th, we're going to be having our Border Wars series, and it's season 10. Keem the Dream going to be taking on Marvin the Tank Furman, the unified champ, and we're going to be in Kid Kelly Boxing Fitness in Northport, Florida. Willie Monroe will be in the building, and we just got confirmation that Xander Zayas will be in the building as well. So that is great. Make sure you get there early in case anybody's got to cut out. We're still waiting on Michael Polite Coffee, which definitely could be an option. We were scheduled to see him Thursday, but I forgot I'm flying out, right, to Atlanta. So I had to reschedule, and we're trying to see him Tuesday where we could pop the question once again and see could he make it. He is training for a fight that isn't announced, and he can't leak any info on it, but he is training for a fight. So, the possibility of him being there is kind of 50-50 at this point. But Xander Zayas, the 147-pound Puerto Rican phenom, one of the youngest that Top Rank ever signed, will be in the building. Willie Monroe Jr. will be in the building, and a lot more surprises to come. We will be announcing Adrian Clark also will be in the building. Shout out to Protect Yourself at All Times. Shout out to the IBO. Shout out to Everlast. We appreciate you. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. So Broner was a pay-per-view, so it makes sense to have Andy versus Arreola on pay-per-view. I'm with it, says Coach Mitty, our long-lost UK host. They got him on UK lockdown. He's not allowed to chatty-patty with Americans, but he believes it makes sense. I don't know. Other than the fact that he beat AJ and he's Puerto Rican. Marlon So Icy Sims is also telling me that he hasn't necessarily confirmed. He's looking to be a part of Border Wars and come through once again like he did last season. And once we got the confirmation, we'll announce professional fighter Marlon So Icy Sims, friend of TBV for some time now. But yeah, I am flip-flopping because, I can see why the world is upset. Obviously, coming off a win, this would have made more sense. But I understand it's a necessary evil too. They need to take a chance, right? They took a chance on Tank and Leo. And yes, that's a sexier fight. They took a chance on, Charlo Derevyanchenko. Yeah, that's a sexier fight. This isn't on par with what the hardcore fans want. But the question here is, and I think that's what they're looking to answer is, how many Mexicans paying pay-per-view, buying Mexicans, does this fight bring? It's a heavyweight, right? Like, we just seen the numbers Burchelt and them did. It was like 800,000 plus, and that was on ESPN for free, which ESPN isn't technically for free, but we'll run with that. And then we got heavyweights now, slightly different than those lower weights, right? Like, those lower weights, not everybody tunes in. Not everybody's interested. Not everyone has those lower weights on the radar, but the heavyweights, and then you factor in the element that one is the first ever Mexican American heavyweight champion of the world. Then you factor in that the other has had many title opportunities. He's been on the big stage. He's fought Vlad, Vitali, fucking Arreola, Wilder, Molina. I mean, everybody but AJ, it looks like, and Fury are the only two that he hasn't fought. But, he definitely is a name, but he's retired or was retired. So I get why people aren't necessarily, signing up for this. But we got Show Kid 2005. He's going to be on Border Wars March 13th. It's only 11 days away. And he will be facing Mario, Money May, Monguilla. Show Kid is from Connecticut. This will be a cruiserweight bout. Mario coming off his first loss, 3 knockdowns at the ham of Keem, who's going for 2 belts versus Marvin. Looking for redemption, Mario is. And Show Kid looking to show the world he's no slouch. And in fact, he believes he'll do a better job than Keem the Dream. So don't forget to tune in to Border Wars March 13th. If you don't know what Border Wars is all about, hit me up on any form of social media and I answer all questions. You could also come right here to youtube.com/The Boxing Voice and just type the word Border Wars and see everything we got going on. Marlon So Icy Sims just confirmed that he lands on the 11th and he want to get some work in. So we got to find him some featherweights to get that work, get that work. And we're going to do that. I got some guys in the gym perfect for him. Sam in the UK says Mario versus Show Kid is Ruiz versus Arreola. I don't know. Show Kid ain't no Arreola, right? I mean, first of all, he ain't never been in no title challenges. He ain't never been ranked. He never been ranked in the top 10 WBC. Show Kid is not even ranked in the top 10 TBV. Like, he's got to show his worth in this fight. This is where we'll see, where he's at, what he can do. Now, I see people saying no titles here, no titles. I don't know. I think you guys shouldn't, speak so quickly, because I think that they can put a title on the line. Obviously, the WBC has Andy ranked at number 4, and the WBO at number 4, and the IBF does not have Mr. Ruiz ranked. They took him out, rightfully so. It's been over a year, and the WBA has him ranked. Now, there is a regular champ in the WBA, and there is a super champ in the WBA. Could this be for an interim title, being as though that this is a WBA sanctioning belt? And I mean, they got like 4, right? This could be for a WBA gold. This could be for an interim. This could be, I don't know. I guess that's about it, because the regular champ is Bryant and the super is Joshua. But we know the WBA, we know they have 2 more belts that they really truly can put on the line for this. I mean, it's obviously can be a regular or a WBA. So that's where we're at. You know what I mean? There is a possibility of this having a title on the line just for the casuals, right? To have some sort of title trinket that sparkles on television in front of the fans, Ruin at 504 says, I'm surprised Andy wasn't placed in the number 1 spot by the WBC yet. I mean, very difficult to do something like that when you got everyone above him is, highly ranked. I guess the only questionable ranking would be not Andy Ruiz, but Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is the only questionable ranking, right? He is, he hasn't really done anything since losing to Wilder. I mean, he got probably a win or something like that we don't remember. But yeah, Luis is probably the one that, doesn't belong so highly ranked. If we're looking at him, his last fight was versus Alexander Flores, and before that, a loss to Wilder. So, that ranking of number 3 position for Luis, I don't know. He doesn't even have a big enough win to be there. Like Andy's done more with the AJ win. Then you got Usyk right here, who's going to be in a WBO interim fight, but he's knocking on the door. I mean, Wilder, Usyk, Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, Joe Joyce. That is the top 5. And then you got Alexander Povetkin and Tyson Fury. So I can see a WBA regular title being put on the line. Interim, or a WBA gold. Or a WBA gold, because that's what Virgil Ortiz has, a WBA gold. You know what I mean? But looks like we got our good friend Troy Killertainment King, not Killer Entertainment. There you go. What it do? Buenos dias, my friend.
Bien. I'm chilling, man. Just got up, made sure I was clean, made sure I steal the material senses. The first thing I do when I get up, breathe, steal the material senses, water, tea. Then I get moving every morning.
Water and tea. I'm more of a coffee drinker.
Tea. Green tea, blood. You must drink. If you're gonna drink coffee in the morning, you should drink 4 ounces of Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. It's the only alkaline coffee, and you only need a little bit, and it don't make you feel jittery. Before you drink that, you should definitely drink 16 ounces of water. It helps get your brain going, because your brain works off electricity, and water is a conductor of electricity. I'm up early in the morning on it.
Nah, it's all good. Let me ask you, man. Are you on this fight though? I mean, it looks like the Twitterverse and boxing world, they're not too happy that Andy Ruiz is coming back, let alone versus Arreola, let alone on pay-per-view, the rumor, according to Mike Coppinger of The Athletic.
Well, everybody knows if you actually beat the man one time, then that puts you on the same pedestal as the man, like Anthony Joshua, but for his demographic, you know what I mean, in his country, so in his nationality. So, I mean, Andy Ruiz is deserving of a fight. You know, his fight with both of his fights with Anthony Joshua, if I'm not mistaken, they might have not been on pay-per-view, but they were like high-profile fights.
Definitely.
So like, and he won when they didn't think he was gonna win, and he came back and didn't get stopped the next one. So like, even though he fighting Chris Arreola, that's about to be a good fight because I feel like the way Canelo and them has been training him, or he's been set up with them, that they need that come forward style because they're about to try to teach Anthony Joshua how to do some of the tricks that Canelo was doing. Because if I'm not mistaken, not Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, Oscar Diaz. Is that his name? Not Oscar Diaz, but Oscar Valdez and Canelo all got big left hooks. Tell me I'm not lying.
No, you're not lying. And it's funny you brought that up because I said that, but you're the fighter. And what I've been noticing is that he's working on everyone's left hook. We see footage of him with the little pool noodle, and he has you slipping, but he has you throwing that left hook on the bag. He's got you doing drills, and drills is practice, and practice makes perfect.
Yeah, perfect practice makes perfect, but the strive for perfect practice. And I know what you're talking about because when you right-handed, like say I'm right-handed, and what he doing, even though I'm standing left-handed, just say I'm right-handed, he throwing the noodle so they could slip the right hand and then come back with the hook, because that's how a slip is how you load a punch without loading up. That's why slips are involved in boxing. And the better you have a good fundamental slip, you can let off the hook perfect. If you slipping like this all the way over, no, that ain't gonna work. You gotta practice slipping right here. Like if my opponent is the camera, I'm slipping, bang, I'm in position right there. Weight on both of my feet. I'm stable. And then as soon as I slip the right hand, I just bring the hook back. Bang! Elbow up, knock you straight out. You don't even see it. And Andrew Ruiz got a short.
You do your hook, elbow to your chest. Thumb to your chest or thumb up.
I do. It depends because I had a guy named Brian Schwartz. He was #1 in the world in kickboxing, and he also learned how to box from Eddie Prime Croft.
Is that Tom Schwartz's brother?
I'm not sure.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
I was about to say, what? I ain't know the nigga Brian had a brother. But the one way you throw it is like a European way, and one they call it an American way. And when Ness is talking about is when you turn up, my bad, I hit the joint. When you turn the hook this way, that's a certain type of hook. Now Brian told me save that hook for when you in close and tight. You want to kick the hook like this. Bang! And then real short and tight because they got the high guard up and you want to land a knuckle flat like this. The other one is for when a person is trying to back out and create distance. Because if you have the thumb facing towards you and the palm down, if you miss the hook, it turns into a straight punch, and that's how Pacquiao be hooking. But if you have the thumb up and they retreat, and this is why you roll under a hook, not pull back sometimes. So with they long, you can make the hook longer. See how I make the hook longer and I don't lose the kinesiology of the hook. It's still gonna be powerful. Bang! Then I shorten the jab or the right hand tells you how long or short your hook need to be. So if they long and you jab and bang, then you say, okay, I need to hook them way out here. Bang, bang. If the jab is short and you bringing it from the hip because they right there, bang, bang, and I just bring the hook, bang, bang, and then drop down to. So those Canelo, Andy Ruiz, and Oscar Valdez is really doing some business with the hook, and it's a vital staple in the stereotypical Mexican style. But as you can see, they got like a hybrid Mexican style because they all athletic and they throwing explosive, quick twitch punches. Real talk.
You said they're like a hybrid. What do you mean?
Like, you know how, like, okay, for example, like because I studied Chavez Senior because his style, people don't think he got like a certain type of defense, but the way Chavez Senior fought is kind of like how Canelo fought Callum Smith. You know what I'm saying? Because Chavez Senior would just be coming to you slow. Kind of like Aaron Pryor too. You know what I'm saying? They be put pressure on you, but they moving upper weights and they coming up under, coming up over, catching, using all types of slips, dipping. Canelo be doing that, and that's more like that's just when you using like a slow twitch, because you ain't exploding with combinations. You just kind of pow, 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 slip, pow, pow. But Canelo and them do one explosive, quick slip. That's what you're practicing. Bang, bang, bang. Slip, bang, 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 bang. You know, that's different. That ain't the same as Chavez Senior. That's a hybrid. Yeah, you still coming forward, but you not coming forward putting non-stop punches. You using explosive power. You know what I mean? It's more of a hybrid style. You mixing two type of styles because you can counter and come back with a 3-piece and they can all be the same strength. Bang, 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 bang. Or you can counter and come back and explode off your punches. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, they styles is not all the way like Chavez Senior. It's more like a quick twitch with the come forwardness and some boxing.
Yo, does Ruiz get the stoppage though? Because, you know, he stopped AJ, so that's a high level stoppage. But like, can he get a stoppage? And if he doesn't, you're fighting Arreola. Like, let me just Google when the last time Arreola fought. Like,
he gonna stop Arreola in like 4 rounds.
2019.
Yeah, but guess what? Only Wilder got a stoppage on Arreola, right? Like he don't even get knocked out like that. Like, he's a tough son of a gun.
Bermain Stavern.
He got 3 KOs. He's been KO'd 3 times in his career, and he's got over 40 fights. He went, look, yo, Klitschko, the tough one, Vitaly stopped him, you know, and it wasn't a knockout. It was the ref, right? Wilder stopped him. It wasn't a knockout. It was the ref. You know what I'm saying? And the one that was a knockout was Bermain Stavern, but that wasn't really a knockout. It was also the ref TKO, you know, so.
No, he was out on his feet with Stavern, though. Stavern hit him with a hard.
I hear you, but he didn't get knocked out. He didn't get.
I know what you're saying. What you're saying.
Like the corner, the ref, they stopped the action. He doesn't get knocked out, and it's like what I told Bill. Like, yo, you fight Linares, and he lost 5 times, and everybody that beat him, you know, beat him by knockout. You putting pressure on yourself. Is this pressure on Andy to come back versus a dude that we thought was retired, thought was finished, and then you don't knock him out? Or is it, yo, we understand you just working with Reynoso, we just want to see you back? Like, what is it for y'all? And morning, Francis, the praying mantis.
Go ahead. What's up? Go ahead, Troy. You're on mute.
Oh, my bad. What's up with Francie? You in the building. I'll be on the East Coast March 4th. I'm coming to see everybody. I feel like it's a little bit of both. You know, it don't have to be one or the other. I feel like it's a good stylistic fight for Andy Ruiz to test out how he feel in the body because he's lost some weight. You know, that is a lot different. You know, the speed is different. The timing is different. And then on top of that, if he does stop him, he stops him. It's a good thing. But if he gets some rounds in, he gets rounds in too. So, you know, it's up to Andy Ruiz to find the golden lining in what he's doing. You know what I mean? If he just say, oh, what is this? Hey, you got to find hey, bro, I got rounds in. I got a good 12 in. I'm trying to be a championship fighter. I'm trying to get back in there and get my belts back from from Joshua, or he could just stop dude and be like, yeah, I had to get him out of there. He wasn't supposed to be in there with me, even though he was an Olympian. He's a good Mexican fighter. Like, it's my turn. You know what I mean? It's just really depends on the fighter in my eyes, but I feel like he gonna stop him under either 4 or 6, because Arreola be taking too much punishment.
Yeah, I want to see him look sharp.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Bullet. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Shout out to my Lord and Savior for another one. Listen, let me tell you something, man. This fight right here it's going to be a great fight. When's the last time you seen an all-action heavyweight Mexican fight? You know what I'm saying? Of the unified. Remember, Andy Ruiz is the first Mexican heavyweight champion in the world, and he was unified. You understand? Chris Arreola is a dog, man. Arreola is a dog. He comes to fight. Like Ness said previously, the ref has had to take him out of there because he got too much dog in him. Like, he's never been knocked out cold on his feet. Like, I mean, knocked out on the canvas on his back or on his, on his stomach. So when Troy said that Andy Ruiz is gonna stop Arreola on the 6th, I'm like, really? Because Arreola comes to fight, man. He comes to fight. You see him fighting against Kovnacki, which is not on the same level, but he throws a lot of punches like Andy does. So I'm looking forward to this fight, and that's Troy. I'm looking forward to this fight.
Would I am too, I buy it? What you just said.
Huh?
Yeah, would you buy it if you was in America? Would you buy it? Would you buy it? If you had to pay for it in Canada, would you pay for it?
Yes, I would, because I'm different. I love boxing, so I watch all of these guys. Andy Ruiz is like, I will watch Andy Ruiz, because if Andy Ruiz that was built like he was when he fought Joshua, and now I've seen his body, I want to see what he looking like, because I seen him on the ladder doing foot drills. Like, he really athletic, bro. So it's only a matter of time before we see Andy Ruiz really looking like he's supposed to look, because the Reynosos, once again, they ain't really here to play with you. Like, they already got Canelo. They already got a bag. Like, they not here to, if you come here, this is how we train you. You do it this way. You know what I'm saying? So I would pay for it, because I know Chris Arreola is he coming to work for work. Like, so I just feel like he just gonna stop him, dog, because Chris Arreola's style, and then Andy Ruiz punching ability on top of athleticism.
We can't forget that Arreola gave Adam Kovnacki hell
for 12 rounds.
Hell. And that fight with Travis Kaufman and Arreola was like, he makes you fight a fight that you really don't want to fight. You know what I mean? Like, he makes it his fight. Troy, do you know who?
You know what I was gonna say? My bad. The reason why I said Andy Ruiz was gonna stop him, because he was a Mexican Olympian, and that style is like a part of the stereotypical Mexican style. So Andy Ruiz, if anybody, will be adept to that style. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Chris Arreola is tailor-made for Andy Ruiz, because he was I think if he was a Mexican fighter. If I'm not mistaken, he was a Mexican Olympian. Like, so he's gonna be used to that style.
Hey, Troy, respectfully, I gotta say that they would say that Oscar Valdez style was built for Burchelt.
Yep.
In the all Mexican fight we just seen. Yeah. But we see how that ended up.
Yeah.
You understand? And I'm excited.
No.
As fiery as that, yeah, I'll pay for it.
Let me get to some of these super chats so that we could I guess give them a response. Andre Dakota, pound for pound supporter for a long time now, says, pay-per-view, this is a joke. I will wait for the IG clips. Damn! I never heard Dre. What? I hear you, though. Listen, everybody as a consumer has the right to let the world know how you feel, especially when it comes to you spending your hard-earned dollars. I get it. But
mind you, yesterday,
I'm with Troy. My last thing is I'm with Troy. I love boxing.
Right. Yesterday, to be honest with you, I wasn't buying this shit, man. I got up today like, hold up, man. I'm tripping. Like, this is going to be, no matter who's on the card, just this fight alone, should be fight of the night if it's an all Mexican clash like we're used to having with
the rumors. Who's on the undercard? You know the rumors.
Yeah, tell me what's up. I didn't hear.
I mean, you know?
Because
no, we don't.
You better not be saying what I think you said. I swear to God.
What you think? I don't want to say too much, as I was told not to say too much. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, who throwing this card?
Because it ain't official. PBC.
And who? Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola. Who will be on the undercard? Charlo.
I mean, we just look.
No way.
If I was putting this card together, it would be
Charlo.
It would be heavyweights.
Heavyweight.
I would rather put heavyweights on stack up
Deontay Wilder.
Stack up the heavyweights. No, I ain't hear nothing about no.
I was about to say.
Yo, could you imagine? Wilder would kill Al if he put him on the undercard of an Andy Ruiz pay-per-view. You tripping, Troy? You don't like Wilder?
Yeah, I would be in
I love Wilder. I'm just saying, he just getting back. Is he trying to scrap or not? See, me, I'm this type of guy. I don't care what card you put me on. It's my card now. I was the co-main event on a card out here in Richmond, California, but I still felt like it was my card. Mm-hmm. It was going to be me because when I was going to get out there and perform, people was going, hey, man, Troy had to fight it tonight. That's all I care about. So I don't care if I go first or last. I'm still going to do what I'm supposed to do. So I don't know, man. I like Wilder. I just want to see him back out there. He letting everybody pass him up. But whatever he doing, I don't know what he doing. So I'm looking for some work. I want to see it. Heavyweights.
All I can say is this, man. I heard it would be a heavyweight. Now, there's mad heavyweights.
Mad heavyweights?
Mad heavyweights. So we'll see what it is. But we also got to use our head, right? Like, we can eliminate so many. If we just use the brain, we can eliminate so many, and we'll be left with a certain amount. But that was Dakota.
Ortiz.
I mean, again, I can't confirm or deny because I was asked to not say.
Keep to the best.
So
yes,
Fabio in the UK says, I'm from the UK and I'm excited to see Andy back. Well, shout out to you, Fabio, because a lot of your UK brothers are like laughing that we have to pay for this, but Andy, like Francis said, Andy did something that was the unthinkable. Not only did he get the upset, and make America proud, but he got the upset and became the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion of the world, the first ever. So it's just like, you got to respect that. You know what I mean? The way we respect everyone else's accomplishments. Eric Cruz says, this super chat is more than I'm willing to pay for Ruiz pay-per-view. Damn. And he's like Salvadoreño or something. So, he ain't even, no. Is he? I think, wait, maybe Marvin is the Salvadoreño and
he is, yeah.
And Cruz is I think Cruz is from Honduras too, right?
I don't know, but I know Tank is from El Salvador.
Yeah, I know Tank is from Salvador. I think maybe Cruz is.
I thought Cruz was Eric Cruz.
I don't think he's Mexican, bro. I only gotta ask. I don't think so.
I got a question. Yeah. I got a question with the Latinos, I guess that's what people call them or whatever. Like when y'all saying like he Mexican and y'all saying like he Salvadorian, y'all saying he Honduran, like what tribes is these people from? Oh, like, man. Not their nationality, their ethnicity.
You gotta ask. That's people. I don't. You gotta ask people to do that history.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that, man.
Puerto Rican or Dominican. So you Dominican?
My parents are Dominican. Yeah, I was born here though. So technically, I'm American. I got a blue passport, but my blood is Dominican. Yes, my parents were both born in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, like what before it was called the Dominican Republic, like what tribe was they from? That's the questions I be wanting to know.
I don't know.
That's a question, guys. But I know for me, from my family, it's hard, man. Being Jamaican, both parents are Jamaicans, born there, but grew up in Toronto, Canada. But at the same time, them times that people wasn't writing down information for you to trace that far back.
Oh,
man.
if you Jamaican, then if you Jamaican, that means you West African by way of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a Nigerian background.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I've done like so much research, but yeah, well, I want to see Andy Ruiz, man. I don't really care what nobody talking about, cause he nobody wasn't talking about him until he stopped Anthony Joshua, and then I watched the second Anthony Joshua fight. Anthony Joshua still didn't look good to me in that fight. So he was slipping punches and doing all of that. He wasn't looking sharp like he actually improved his head movement and defense. He struggled. Like, so I want to see Andy Ruiz with the weight off and how we look, and I'm willing to pay for that. I mean, it's levels to pay-per-view. What is they charging? $90, $100? I'm sure they're not.
Yeah.
$69.99 is what was reported to be the cost of this pay-per-view.
So ain't nobody got $70. You're trying to tell me you don't have 70 chuckers in your account to throw to a fight and you can't make that back?
But it's not about having, it's about not wanting for some. Some don't want to. They feel like, yo, this ain't worth my money. It's not about, yo, I got it so I could spend it. It's like, yeah, I got it, but don't mean I got to spend it on something that I don't value.
Okay, so who do they want to see then? Andy Ruiz and who?
They want Andy in a big fight, but that's what people gotta. So this is it's two things though, Troy. They would accept this if it was Fox Television, because you a tuna. Okay, you in a tune-up, but now you giving me your tune-up on pay-per-view.
But from what y'all saying, Chris Arreola is not a tune-up because he's gonna be a very difficult fight.
I mean, he's not a tune-up in the traditional sense of the word, but like where he's at in his career. The fact that he announced retirement and stuff like that, like, you know.
Tune-ups only last 4 rounds. You seen what Canelo just did? That's what a tune-up is.
I just hope that you're right, and Ruiz isn't the only one training, right? I hope Arreola has been taking this year to get ready, because we've been hearing rumors about this fight for a long, long, long time now.
Hell yeah. Hey, yo, fellas, let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that Al Heyman can put Andy Ruiz on free TV and still pay him $8 million, or he has to put him on pay-per-view to try to get some of that $8 million back?
Wait. That can't be his minimum now, dog. That can't
be. What did he get in his last fight? Bruh, you know how the business goes, Ness.
Bruh, listen to me. No, you know how business goes in it. You just forgot a little bit, right? Like there's no way you lose and get what you got in your last fight. First of all, there's no way you lose and get what you got, and there's no way you can lose like all the belts and get.
So what's his minimum now, Ness? What do you think his minimum now? Because if he made let's say hypothetically he made $8 million for the fight that he lost his belts to AJ.
Francis, just keep in mind Eddie only offered him $5 million for the Dillian White fight. That we seen the email.
Right, but that's Eddie though. But I feel you.
But
he getting $4 million.
That motherfucker ain't getting no fucking $8 million. Y'all tripping, man. No way.
4.5.
No way.
4.5.
No way, man.
4.5.
4.5?
Bruh.
4.5 sound fair.
And if this pay-per-view bust out, he may get that 8 for sure, no?
Listen. He ain't getting.
No, I think that'll top him out to 6.
He ain't getting 4. He ain't getting 4.
Oh, he not even getting 4. Damn.
He ain't getting 4.
We going with 2.5.
So give me a number, Ness.
He getting a guaranteed number and the rest on the back end. How the fuck are we giving you $4 million? I mean, I just don't like. I mean, what we talking about here?
Because you the first Mexican American unified heavyweight champion of the world. Like, you making your comeback after, you know what I'm saying, doing that. That's how they're gonna try to sell the story as the biggest and the best thing. Like, so Al can get some of that 800K back.
Market value, right? So again, we offered you. Al as a businessman now knows, like, yo, they offered you $5 million on another network for a tough fight. So here's this money for an easy fight with a dude coming off a layoff.
Arreola. Dust him off. Get him out the closet.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way, bro.
What do you call it? Steam him down a little bit, get him ready. You know what I'm saying?
1.
Because 1.5. Wow.
1.5. Well, I mean, I gotta go lower, and that's making it seem like you getting 500 racks.
I just don't. I mean, listen, it's heavyweight boxing. I think Lennox Lewis got like $4 million in a mandatory, right? We looked that up not too long ago. or something like that. But I don't know, man. That sounds high, but let's get to the next super chat, not to leave any man behind. LJ Wade says, just subscribe and I'm finna join Patreon. No broke homies around here. Laughing out loud emoji. Well, thank you for the support, champ. We definitely could use it. We're going to be in Atlanta for anybody in the ATL. We're going to be performing live, calling the live fights for the BPE network. Shout out to Justin Biggs and Big Time Promotions. Shout out to Aida Biggs, who's going to be one of the main event fighters there. And, I mean, we talked about the other guy. I got to pull it up. I said that yesterday and got distracted with something like I'm about to do now with this next super chat from Show Kid, who says, I don't want to pay for this trash, but I'm going to pay for this trash because that's what I do. They taking advantage of us hardcores. It's AJ's fault. Laugh out loud. And it is AJ's fault. If AJ wouldn't have lost, Ruiz would have been a pay-per-view fighter. Let's just be real.
But then he wouldn't have been able to change his family's life forever. Come on.
Hey, and I ain't mad at that. I'm just saying he is here because he beat AJ. No other reason. No other reason. We talking about him on a pay-per-view because he beat AJ. I'm not saying it's AJ's fault, but it's Ruiz's fault. He won. And it raised his status and his clout. You know what I'm saying?
His stock is through the roof.
His stock went up, man. I mean, look, again, if you can get offered because people are like, oh, I ain't paying for this, right? Meanwhile, Eddie was trying to pay. And this is directed to you UK dudes. You know exactly who you are. We seen the hatred this morning. Eddie was trying to pay. So you laugh at Americans that are going to pay for pay-per-view. Meanwhile, what the fuck, Francis, tell me what Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz would have been on Sky.
Come on, man. What
20 cents.
20 cent?
I'm just saying, pay-per-view, though.
20 cent.
Pay-per-view number. It would have been a big pay-per-view number for me, man.
And the time that Eddie offered,
sure.
At the time that Eddie offered Ruiz the fight, there was no Dazn UK yet. So there's no argument that it wouldn't have been a UK pay-per-view.
Yeah, for sure.
So to laugh at us because we're paying for a fight, is it the same caliber? No, but he also showed market value. He said, yo, for Dillian White, #1 contender at the time, WBC interim at the time, $5 million. He set that bar, letting the world know, yo, even though AJ just got his belts back and beat this fat tub of lard, I see value. I see dollar signs. I see subscribers for DAZN. Hey, you want $5 million? But how y'all gonna spend that now? If he was just some regular dude, they wouldn't offer him $5 million. Let me remind you of something else because you motherfuckers is fickle. You shitty ass boxing fans don't got the brain to remember. Don't forget that Dillian himself was offered $4 million to fight AJ and he turned it down. Did you forget?
Mm-hmm.
But Andy getting offered $5 to fight Dillian. So that just shows you how valuable Matchroom, DAZN, and Eddie Hearn thought of Ruiz. So if Al's on the other side looking at it like that, like, damn, you trying to give him $5 million off a loss? Well, fuck it, Ruiz, we'll put you on a pay-per-view. I'm all right if it do 200,000, we break even. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the market value, man.
It's win-win, man. It's a win-win.
It's what the market
demands. If it break even, you're good. If it does more, you're great. Even if it does less, you're still okay. You're not bad, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna get that number. That's why I asked you guys a question. It wasn't more of a question to say that I'm looking at Ruiz to get $8 million. I'm saying after his last payday, given everything that has been thrown at his feet after a loss, like what is that number? You know what I'm saying? What is that number that he can negotiate, knowing what his value is, his base value is to try to get?
I mean, I don't really know that that's even the
Guadalupe
argument.
too, no, isn't he?
What?
He's with Guadalupe Valencia, isn't he? As his attorney.
No.
I thought it was.
No, let me see. Because, damn, that would be crazy. Because I met his manager. That means I got his number then. Because I got his manager's number. Let me see if I put it.
I could have swear he with Guadalupe, man. I might be tripping. We got a super chat from Space Predator. That $4.99 super chat that says paying for a pay-per-view where Andy might come in looking hold on. Where Andy might come in fat looking like a meatball. I don't care. That's hard. I'm Mexican too. Maybe undercards are good.
Listen, the thing is that Andy
we
ain't
already
gonna
know
look
dude
like
in
that.
shape.
We are
We already seen that.
Listen, Reynoso put him on a
talking
one-fight
about?
deal. Like he wouldn't even. Andy went to pre-camp. See, people sleeping. We thought he was playing games and that he wasn't gonna link up with Reynoso. He said, you know what? Let me show the world I'm serious. I'm gonna go to pre-camp with Jorge Caputillo. Shout out to Jorge Caputillo. You know what I'm saying? And all those clips we were seeing of him working with Jorge was pre-camp before getting to Reynoso. I don't believe Andy's coming in not in shape. Let's just put it that way. I believe he'll be in shape.
Now you telling me that it's whoever wanted to do that super chat, they definitely should want to pay for Andy Ruiz because they didn't even make no sense in that chat.
And
we literally just
they ain't get no value. At least you're gonna get a fight for $45 more.
Like, we literally seen him on Instagram showing us he was in decent shape. Yes, he gave us the one view, so you can't really see. But from what I'm seeing, he looks a lot better than he used to. You know what I'm saying? So only time will tell once he actually gets in there and he starts working. But just to say, like, he gonna show up fat, bro. Like, did you see Oscar Valdez's body at the weigh-in and at the fight and his jab? Like, he actually looked a lot better. I was very pleased with Oscar Valdez, like Shakur said.
That boy didn't look like he had an ounce of fat on him, man. Like he
was, and that's what I like to see. I don't care where you from. If you gonna get on the scale, look like you did something in camp, dog. Don't be coming out here looking. That's not boxing. The boxing guys don't like that. That's trash.
I see the haters saying, "Show us a clip. Show us a clip of Arreola. Arreola, the B-side, man. Did AJ show us a fucking clip? Attack him? Get your ass out of here, man." Yo, the haters are out today. And you know what it is? Andy beat they king, man, so they still sour, man. That's what's going on, man. These guys are still sour. We got Hav, who says, TBV, yo, Ness, whatever happened to Paulie? Yo, I still be talking to Paulie, but, you know, I ain't even trying to interview Paulie because, you know, he took a lot of heat. He probably ain't even interested in that, you know. But Paulie's still out there, man. He got a beautiful red Ferrari, and he was in Italy not too long ago. He's still there. He's still doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Paulie who?
Malignaggi, I'm assuming.
What he do? Why he took a lot of heat for what?
He had like some racial comments and you know,
so that was true.
That interview that he did where he said that the era of the black fighter is done and this is the era of the European fighter. So
yo, we got two super chats. One from the heavy-handed edition. Viva Ruiz. Shout out to the heavy-handed edition. And then you have, how do you say that? Hav or Jav?
I say Hav. That's
Hav. I thought so too. Hav S with a super chat that says TBV GOAT. Yo, Ness, whatever happened to Paulie? You read that. Whatever happened to Paulie? You read that.
I did. But
what happened
after that,
Paulie didn't know his history.
After that, we got KDDR says on PBC you can come off L's and go straight to headline pay-per-view at $70, rewarding and celebrating $1 million paydays. Mediocre has got us here. Thank you, Al Heyman. I get you, man. Disgruntled. You're not happy with what you're getting. You know, I get you.
What about what they're not getting? Troy and Ness, can somebody tell me what? Is it that they don't think that the fight is going to end up like a Canelo Yildirim?
It's that they don't think it's worth
it. Going and fold up after 1 or 2 rounds? Like, what is it? You don't think that Andy Ruiz is going to be putting in the work to perform? Like, I don't get it. Like, dudes are going to fight. They going to fight. And they going to bring that Mexican pride. And somebody let me know.
They don't think it's worth it. They don't think it's worth it. But the way they justify other pay-per-views is like, oh, well, he's a pound-for-pound fighter. So, you know, it's all right that he fighting Brook. You know, it's like, oh, you know, they giving you 2 Charlos, so it's all right that he's fighting a dude coming off of 2 losses on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? We pick and choose who we gonna fucking criticize, and that's what I'm saying. So Andy can't do a pay-per-view coming off a loss, but Derevyanchenko can. And Derevyanchenko ain't accomplished what Andy has accomplished, and neither has Jamal Charlo. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to be fair.
But when have anybody that watch boxing seen Chris Arreola fold like a lawn chair?
I don't think it's about.
The thing I'm saying is, I feel like these guys are kind of like, I'm agreeing with Ness, kind of like what I'm gonna say is in agreement with Ness, but it sounds different. I feel like they just want to see the same recycled guys over and over and over again, instead of seeing some of these new guys. Like, listen, it's more than just 2 or 3 or 4 people that deserve to be on pay-per-view. Dude, I mean, like $70 can be a lot, but at the same time, you know, you don't know. The business of boxing is very tricky. And Andy Ruiz still has a whole country behind him, just like I told on somebody else's channel, my man UGC channel, that Turkey has a whole country. It's an Islamic country, and they got money, bro. So Yildirim, and you see, as you can see, the whole country came out for Yildirim. Everybody was tuned in. So if they only had 1 million people from their country, that's 1 million actual viewers of Turkey trying to watch a fight. Now, if y'all don't understand that, then y'all don't understand business. America ain't the only country over here, so people want to see fights and these other fights, and other people from other demographics are tuning in. So, like, man, evidently they know what they doing. So who am I to complain? Either I'm gonna watch it or I'm gonna move on. I ain't about to be complaining. I want to see some work. I want to see I want to see if Reynoso can train just more than 2 people.
And you know, just for like facts and stuff, you're able to Google DAZN Turkey, so they're definitely in Turkey. I didn't know
I
that.
definitely said that.
No, I know. I'm backing you that I Googled it and it exists.
I only was saying that because on somebody else's channel, it was like, well, why would he fight Yildirim? And I was like, well, yeah, he did pop dirty, but he hadn't lost his positioning.
What I'm taking it is that Andy Ruiz, if he was on free TV, it would have been fine. But the fact that it's on pay-per-view, they don't think Andy's a big enough star to carry a pay-per-view.
I mean, I think it's the B side that they're upset with, bro. Like, if it would have been Dillian, they would have been happy.
Like, who is Dillian B? I just want to know this, because everybody always talking about Cousin. I just want to know, like,
listen, right now, people are gonna have less nice things to say about him. But at the time that he offered Andy to fight, he was the interim champion for the WBC in the heavyweight division, and obviously, you know, he's got wins over Joseph Parker. You know, who else? Fucking the Australian Lucas Brown. He's got wins over the undefeated Oscar Rivas. You know, the thing is that none of these wins were like amazing.
Mid-tier.
No. Not that the fighters were mid-tier. Just that, like, some of these wins he struggled. Like the Joseph Parker fight, it was, you know, he was doing good, but he, you know, at the end, there's some stuff there in the end that boxing fans need to go look at. Same thing with Rivas. Towards the end, Rivas put him down maybe twice, I believe, or something like that. But that's fun though. But that's fun. He did get knocked out to Povetkin just now, and he's got a rematch.
No. Hold on. Let's bring this back real quick.
But Troy, it's the heavyweight division, man. Anybody could get knocked out.
No, Ness. No, you get no excuse.
Come on, Troy. That's my man's in them.
You know what?
Troy, that's my man's in them.
I'm about to blaze them. I'm about to
really. You can't do it, Troy.
I'm about
I don't
to
get
blaze.
it though.
Listen, I watched Dillian White. I watched him. Yes, I did. That because I be getting him and Chisora mixed up. I've actually seen Dillian White. Povetkin, he dropped Povetkin, but then Povetkin knocked him all the way out.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
No, it happens because Dillian White's skill set is not that great, bruh. He bends over at the waist like this.
He does.
Bro.
He
Like,
does.
that's not boxing. Like,
yo, but listen,
he
Troy.
Andy Ruiz to stop him,
But
bro.
Troy,
he ain't
but Troy,
good
but Troy,
like that, bro.
but
He
Troy.
mid-tier.
But Troy, listen.
Come on,
listen,
Troy.
I'm
Can't tell
play,
me that.
let me
Go
play
ahead,
devil's advocate, right?
He got knocked out by Povetkin, who my age, bro. He 40, bro.
Okay. So
He
Luis
don't
Ortiz
have
is
the
40.
skill set.
Luis Ortiz is 40, man. It
He
don't
got skills though. That's my point.
I mean,
Dillian White's skills ain't like that, bro.
Listen, Luis Ortiz might have skills, but who got the better win? Dillian White showed that with his limited skills, he could be better opposition. So I don't really know what you're talking about.
Luis Ortiz will stop Dillian White in 4 rounds.
Tell
bro.
Luis Ortiz
You
go
tripping,
stop.
Troy.
Tell
You
Luis.
tripping, Troy.
Yo.
I'll take that bet any day.
Troy.
I take that bet.
Y'all niggas is tripping.
Troy.
Y'all are tripping,
Troy.
bro.
I'll take that
Troy.
bet any
About
day, Troy.
Dillian White.
Troy,
Troy.
I'll take that bet any day. Troy, I'll take that bet any day.
Hold up,
Any
Troy.
day.
Luis Ortiz, bro. He
Troy.
wouldn't stop Dillian White. The
I'll
man
take
been
that bet today, Troy. Troy, I'll take that bet today.
Hey, Troy.
I bet you Dillian White stopped Luis Ortiz.
Tell Luis Ortiz, tell Luis Ortiz to stop Christian Hammer first. You know, tell him to stop fucking, Travis Kaufman sooner rather than going 10 full fucking rounds in a 10-round fight. You know what I mean? Like, show us you could stop Malik Scott before you talking about stopping Dillian White.
Man, Dillian White just got put to bed, bro. What are we talking about?
Bro, Povetkin, listen
like
to me.
2-3
Listen to
man.
me. Povetkin been on a
I
higher
don't
level.
care if he dropped him 2 or 3 times. He went to bed, bro.
Because
do you hear yourself? If you drop me 2 or 3 times and I get up and put you to sleep with 1 shot.
That's a good
and listen,
fight.
As soon as the fight started with Dillian White, I said, this fight ain't gonna go long because every time Dillian White faint dude, he bend over just like this.
But Troy, you talking about bro like he a bum.
Yeah.
You talking bro like he a bum, bro.
Yeah.
He dropped the nigga twice, bro. You talking about like he a bum, Troy? Come on, man. You gotta put some respect on that man's neck, man. Come on, man. He actually got skills to get in there to drop that 40-year-old man. Put him to sleep because he switched off for half a second. He switched off for half a second. I know you're the professional. I'm not talking about your skills and your ability. Please, let me explain. I'm just saying how you sound. You sounded a little crazy, like you said the man's a bum. Like, he bends over the waist. But given the limited skills that he has, man, check his resume, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that,
who he beat. He ain't beat nobody. He beat mid-tier guys.
Man, he got bigger wins on his fucking resume than Luis Ortiz, bro. You tripping. He beat former champion Joseph Parker. He beat undefeated Oscar Rivas. Like, he beat Lucas Brown. Like, he beat Chisora twice. He beat some people, man. We can't fake like
that. Man, them is all mid-tier fighters, bro. Them is all mid-tier.
Nah, you tripping,
Oscar Rivas ain't nobody's mid-tier fighter, man.
Man, Dillian White is not good, bro. I'm sorry. Technically, he's not good.
Povetkin
He's not a good
good,
fighter.
man. Povetkin is good. He only lost to AJ and Vlad. Like, you out here tripping right now. He got a draw with Michael Hunter that people thought he might have lost.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, he not on Povetkin's level. Like, that means he's mid-tier.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. If Povetkin is good, and he put Dillian White to sleep in 1 second.
It's heavyweight boxing, champ.
No, it's not. It's not. Because in the heavyweights that I be watching, they wasn't going to bed off 1 shot. Bruh. These guys don't have the skill set, Ness. I'm sorry.
Ortiz
they just don't. I've been watching boxing.
Luis Ortiz ain't one-punch nobody in his life, man. Why you out here capping for this dude?
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Are we talking about Povetkin, bro? Are we talking? Are you defending
Ortiz's skill set?
Come on, man. You
Y'all trying to tell me Luis Ortiz doesn't have better skill than Dillian White?
Wait a minute. Which one is it? Is Wilder a bum and ain't got no skills? Or is Luis Ortiz fucking superb and got all the skills? Because how you got all the skills you talking about, but you can't beat Wilder, who y'all call a bum? And I don't mean you, but the world, right? It don't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the world because my views is different. Wilder has skill because he's a knockout artist. I've said this before. When you're a knockout artist, that's the same thing as being a scientist.
The boxer's supposed to always beat the fucking puncher. Always. And Luis Ortiz.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Come on, Troy.
He on the ropes. Look at him. I see him smiling,
No,
y'all. I see him
Gerald
smiling.
McClellan.
I see him smiling. He on the ropes.
Is Gerald McClellan a boxer or a puncher? What is he? Is Gerald McClellan a boxer or a puncher?
See, that's how he want to win
Was
the
Terry
argument. He want to go to
Norris a
history.
boxer? Was Terry Norris a boxer?
He want to go to Terry Norris. Terry Norris a puncher.
No, Terry Norris was a boxer puncher, and Julian Jackson was a puncher, and he knocked him out. Sleep.
He want to go to history. Yo,
yes,
Francis.
Bias. I don't care. Yes, Jamaica and Bridget in a business. Top of night.
Oh, that's why Gillian White is okay. Y'all let me do all that. Oh,
Yo. Doomy, what up, man? You woke up? You woke up? I got super chats. Come on, let's talk about it. We got Izzy in Oklahoma says this will pull 45,000 pay-per-views. They'll report 125,000. So right there, I'm just gonna say, Izzy, you know, I hate to have to say this about your super chat, but like, it's very unfair for you to say that the report will be a lie. Like, you putting that in the air so that when it does get reported, it's like, oh, it's a lie. It did less. So should we think that of the Charlo 120,000 pay-per-view? Just saying, I want y'all to be fair across the board. Because all we ever got a report on was Charlo 120 and Tank's 220. Should we think that those reports are fake too? You know what I'm saying? Let's stop. Let's stop. We all respect Michael Coppinger and many of the other journalists that break the news that we report on as YouTubers and podcasters daily. So if they report something, that's what it is, you know? That's why people mad that Crawford shit. When they reported Crawford shit, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Of course, the promoter who put on the fucking pay-per-view is going to tell you that ain't the real number. That's his fucking job, is to inflate. You know what I mean?
Yo, we got some super chats that we want to get to real quick that we missed while we were bantering.
These are all super chats, champ. I need your thoughts on that one. That one is Izzy, who said this one does 45,000.
Yeah, see, that's I disagree. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. I think it can do more, man. I think just the California fans and the Latino fans coming out for just an all-out war fight at the heavyweight division with the first Mexican-American unified heavyweight champion in the world. I think they're gonna do more than 45, man.
Man, listen. Come on, Izzy. 45,000. They're gonna report 125. Nah, champ. Did you forget Arreola, man? Arreola's backing. Everybody loves Arreola. Even though you might think that he's gone or whatever, he shows up to fight, and he has a big backing in Cali and across the whole Mexican board. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to do numbers, man. I was listening to a little bit before I came on what you guys were saying. And, yeah, I heard you going out the window, Champy.
Yeah, like they didn't. I keep forgetting. Dude literally just said he was Jamaican, and I forgot. My bad. I'm done.
Listen, listen, man. And Andy is in shape. You know, I don't know if you guys saw the clip where he pulls his shirt up when he was at Reynoso's. He pulled his shirt up, man. His stomach was looking flat. I mean, you can't suck up. You can only suck your stomach in for so much. Like, you know, the guy looks like he's working, man. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I also heard Ness mention in the pre-camp at Capotillo's. And I don't know if it was exactly that, you know, but if it was a great idea to, start training, getting your body in that go mode before you get up there to that elite camp, man. Yeah, man, you guys are going to see, man. Look, Arreola's durable. He's been known to be that, you know, but I think Andy has a really good chance of stopping him. And you know, they're going to make it a fun fight. This is not going to be a boring fight. And that's what you get with Arreola too. You know, people are paying for that action, and they know what they're going to get. So I'm going to say that they do good numbers. And everybody's going to be happy with the fight. I haven't gotten a chance to look at the undercard to see what that's going to look like. But I'm assuming it's going to look good too, you know? They're going to have some good fights.
Yeah, apparently this is supposed to be a heavyweight co-main event, just to give you a little backstory on it as well.
Look at that. It's a heavyweight night. I wonder who it is.
Right. Ness said he was told, but he can't speak on it. So we're left wanting to guess.
Oh, okay. He's not willing to divulge.
He has to keep it to the vest.
He's the only one privy. Nah, but look, all right. So at least we got a heavyweight main event, you know. So it's don't be surprised, man, if it's somebody that you might like. Again, overall, this card does good.
I just think it's rather crazy to think Al Heyman and his team haven't done the necessary research to decide to just put Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola on pay-per-view. There got to be something pointing in the direction.
But I think they did, right? Like, why wouldn't they, right? Why wouldn't they? So now, look, you know, people say, yo, you use social media, right? So did Al use social media? Was Andy and his team, you know, smart enough to download their analytics? Because Instagram gives you that. When you that big, you know, our account gets all the analytics and stuff, and I can pull it, right? So are they able to show conversions? Because remember, Andy, since the win, picked up mad sponsorship. He's a Fashion Nova partner. There's always a link in the bio now for some CBD, for some different products. You know, he's sponsored.
Andy cashed out, man. Andy cashed out, and I don't mean to cut you, man.
No. I hear you, but I'm not making it about the money. I'm making it more about those sponsorships. Him showing conversions, like being able to show Al how many people click the link in the bio when he puts a product there. You know, for instance, this video that we were showing of Andy hitting the bag with the left hook, that's already at 1.2 million. I have no clue. Let me tell you, I have no clue how that information or data, you know, if it's valuable to Al and how they use it. But we have to assume that they do because of what Ryan Garcia was able to do with his numbers. His feud with Golden Boy was very public between him, Golden Boy, and his lawyer about wanting to increase his, you know, financial status per fight due to the power of his social media numbers. So, you know, we just don't know what Andy is capable of doing right now because the trajectory shows up, right? Like off a loss, you get offered $5 million. Off a loss, you're able to pull $1.2 million on videos. Like, you know, that's.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Ness? You keep saying this, bro. You are making like a great point now that I think about it. Because when I think about Andy Ruiz as like a Mexican heavyweight, far as his marketability, like he's very marketable. He has a good smile, pause, you know, and all of that. Like he tatted. Like if you wanted to see like a Mexican American that can appeal to both cultures, I feel like he a good draw. You know what I'm saying? Then you throw Chris Arreola in there with that style. I feel like that's a decent little thing. Like
decent.
Is it worth 70?
I hope they do it in Texas.
Let me tell you something real quick.
I hope they do it in Texas.
I'm one of them that watch Andy Ruiz, man, like from before the belts and everything. Listen, Andy Ruiz is the type of guy that will stop and take photos and sign autographs for everybody. He's just smiling.
Yeah, like he's marketable, man. Like I gotta rock with Andy.
Type of dude where when he won the championship, man, when he became a champion, like that was it for him. Like everybody solidified themselves. They started to attach themselves to Andy Ruiz Jr., knowing that it's cash on the end of it, man. There's something to gain from the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Business wise, immediately he went to Mexico. Immediately went there. He knows his worth. He knows he a big star at this particular point without coming off a loss. That's why the $5 million, what Ness was talking about from Eddie Hearn, was huge. Coming off a loss, man. They're offering you $5 million. So it's only up from there, man. That's why I see, like, when Ness said it doesn't have nothing to do with money, it does. Because all those sponsors, all those people who rock with Andy, they're going to open their wallets and they're going to pay, man. They're going to pay.
And another good point that you made, and I listen, I get it. Like what Ryan Garcia is doing, he brings so much attention to himself and this is with any fight. It could be the Haneys. It could be the moment you know how to use your own following, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, whatever, that takes the power out of the hands of the promoter. And if you let them 360 you, then you get 360. But if you say, hey, no, y'all got to start paying me more. I had $1 million before. before I had 1 million followers on Instagram, and if anything, these at least 30% of them is gonna tune in. That's 300,000. Like, who's doing them type of numbers? That was Floyd's first pay-per-view. So like, you got to think about things like that. It's all really how you control your own market, and I can see why the promoters is feeling some type of way. Andy Ruiz he got marketability, man. If Canelo got it, then Andy Ruiz definitely got it at heavyweight. Come on, like I see, like it makes a lot of sense. I mean, now that I see why Dillian White probably would be a bigger fight, though, now I kind of see it. Like, I did jump out the window. My bad, shit. Now,
think about this,
I see it because
you read more than me. Last time I checked, and that was when Andy was going into his second fight with AJ. There's 36.7 million Mexican Americans. The census can only register the people that actually are there. You know, no illegals. I'm not talking about illegals. I'm talking about what's there. So it's like there is a huge market. And when 230 pounders, or were they 35? No, they were 30. They did 880,000 on ESPN, which you have to have some form of cable for. You know, I think that they're looking at that market and they don't give a fuck about what we, the hardcore, say. They know they're going for the Mexican-American casual boxing fans. And if 30,000 or 50,000 hardcores tune in, they don't care. They don't care. You know what I mean? But we got mad super chats.
Another reason why they... My bad.
Go ahead.
Real quick, while you do that, another reason why they don't care, because if you just read the stock market or just the market in general, as far as like the economics of the market, everything is so low. So when people can capitalize on the Andy Ruiz, this is like technical business. They just say, you know what, we're only here for the 100,000 or the 50 because it's low anyway. Yeah. So we'll take what we can get, and that's what people don't understand. So some of these fights that they make, they trying to take what they can get.
Think about this, guys. Fucking Arreola received 130 or 175,000 to fight Deontay Wilder. You Google it. I guarantee you it wasn't over 200. Now, we do know he's a PBC fighter, so there could have been some back-end money. He did take the fight on short notice. Maybe this is why Arreola's in the pay-per-view, because he's been Al's guy for a long time. He's been there. He's Al's
a faithful manager and advisor, man. He takes care of his dudes, man.
He's been with Al forever. So maybe this is the payback for taking the Wilder on 130, 175 on paper. I'm emphasizing that.
Definitely. On paper.
I'm emphasizing that that's what was on paper. You understand? So all I'm saying is that this fight comes in cheap, guys. It doesn't have to do 1 million buys. Understand basic mathematics.
Economics.
No, I'm just saying it don't need to do. It don't. Think about it.
I get it, because the money they putting up front is not.
We don't know how much Andy's getting, but we already know he ain't getting 5 because Ruiz ain't fighting Dillian White. Okay, so we know that. So again, how many pay-per-views do I really gotta fucking sell? Like, how many pay-per-views do I really gotta sell? People just don't want to get it. They just,
so what's the least that we gotta sell? 250?
I mean, 250 is a win. You kidding me? 250 is a fucking hole. That shit's like crack. They hit that shit out the park. Yo,
yeah, that's out the park for sure. 250? Yeah, that's out the park, man.
250.
Look, a lot of people get after Andy beat AJ the first time. He was just he was the Rocky story. He was relatable even to the guy that didn't watch boxing.
250 is a win.
If there's nobody else in boxing that's a superstar overnight,
can I just give you the math?
Go ahead.
I think he's gonna do more than that.
250 is 20 mil, right? They say the promoter, the broadcaster take half. That leaves them 10 million. And that ain't sponsors. We ain't even announcers in Texas where we getting tickets. Chill, y'all. Chill. Now again, ain't nobody paying Andy 5 million. Listen to me.
It could go Florida too, no?
I don't know, man. 2 Mexicans in Florida. Maybe I moved here. Listen to me. I moved here and there's 1 Dominican restaurant, 1 Puerto Rican truck, and 50 million Mexican restaurants. So maybe, you understand? But again, he ain't getting $5 million. Arreola only got 130, 175 to fight Wilder. Like, if they making $10 million, no sponsors, no nothing. I mean, how much is Andy getting up front? What do you want up front? 2? You want $2 million? Toma. 2.5? Toma. We still got 7.5, right? We still got $8 million left, give or take.
2.5.
You know?
Do like Floyd did. How much Berto get in his last fight? $2 million? Leonard, get that man $4 million.
You know what I'm saying? And then for Arreola, yo, retirement check. Fuck it. Give him $1 million guaranteed if you can do it. Because I don't know. You know, again, for Wilder, he didn't even get that. So if we going based off, again, paper, fuck, man, they getting Arreola dirt cheap. Man. And then you do this in Texas. Now you bringing in a live gate. I mean, this is just so for the haters that's like, oh man, they're giving y'all this. Dog, it makes sense for them, man.
It really do. And I was thinking about what you were saying. Like, now that I think about it, I feel like 250 is kind of like easy because Chris Arreola is a action type fighter. He's like a fighter's fighter. Like, he really coming out there to work. And then
Canelo gonna show up. Canelo gonna show up. You know that. Like don't think that Al don't know Canelo gonna show up. Don't think that Al don't got a wait. Don't think that Al don't got a court Canelo. Don't he gotta get his motherfucking Caleb Planner fight? Don't he still need to get Charlo? Don't forget he got a court Canelo. Canelo team gonna be in the building. Don't forget Eddie Reynoso is Andy's motherfucking trainer, who's been big, who's gonna be telling his social media followers as well. Andy's back. Now I'm back with my heavyweight. Vamos, eso, right? And what you think Canelo gonna do?
I might buy that.
What's Canelo gonna do? Canelo ain't gonna post it on his social media. He ain't gonna support his father-like trainer and his new stablemate. Man, you motherfuckers is tripping, man. And the hate is visual. We can see it on y'all, man. Y'all just love to hate on anybody that can do something, man. And it's sad. It's very sad.
Andy Ruiz is, I would really, and listen, I love Ryan Garcia, but I would rather pay to watch Andy Garcia. I mean, I would pay to watch Andy Ruiz probably 7 times out of 10 before I will watch Ryan Garcia for free.
Let me get to some of these super chats. We got Ken Stone who says, not worth pay-per-view. I'll save my money and continue paying for super chats and my Patreon. Well, can't hate on that, Ken. Can't hate on that, but you're going to want to see it. It's going to be an event. Yo, oh my God. Are we supposed to get the super chats, but can they pull off Miami? You said it, Francis. Can they pull off Miami? But listen, you don't want to come to Miami and not go
stadium though? At Dolphin Stadium?
Listen, but you don't want to come to Miami and not fucking go as hard as Canelo. Like, it's going underwhelm.
Did you see how everybody was
those big shoes filling?
Did you see how everybody was talking about being in the stadium, how comfy and beautiful it was? Trust me, man.
They spaced it out. They spaced it out for social distancing.
Charlotte was like, yo, look at these seats, and everybody's like, yo, listen, they gonna try to make it happen, man.
Yeah, but that was Eddie. Eddie.
Just opened the door for the Mexican fighters to try and tap that market, so to speak, in Miami, in Florida. I'm just saying. He opened the door. Here comes Andy
Coach
right behind.
Myers hitting you up on the chat, Doomy.
All right.
So the next super chat is from Space Predator. He says, paying for a pay-per-view where Andy might come in fat, looking like a meatball? I don't know. That's hard. I'm Mexican, too. Maybe undercards are good. I think the undercard will be good, man. I'm expecting a decent I don't want to call it a co-main. I don't know if it's going to be a co-main. I'm expecting a decent heavyweight fight, not the main event. Heavy-handed Jay, who's wants to start not the bridgerweight, but the chubby weight division. So he's saluting his chubby weight heavyweight in Andy Ruiz with a straight up Viva Ruiz. And then we got Hav. Oh, okay, we read that one, right? We read that one. So let me. Ken Stone says Taylor Ramirez is more pay-per-view worthy than this. Absolutely, that's a different story though. That's a unification undisputed story. That's why they would get my money if it's on pay-per-view, because that's a different. Everyone has their own story. See, I get it, yo. Y'all can't all be like me because some of y'all pay money to go to a football game, or y'all go to a basketball game, or y'all watch all those sports and then go to baseball or cricket.
You know what it
tennis.
is too. I can
all
see
my
why
money goes to
some
boxing.
people don't want to pay, man. You know, he's not popular out there right now.
But
like in the scope. Hold on,
that's not true. That's only in the mind of the hardcores. He's not popular. He's not hardcore. He's not popular to us.
Let me say my take. Let me say my take. He's not popular in the scope that you can't. He's not out there on the IG. He doesn't have the million followers. You know what I'm saying? He's not out over there in basketball games, football. He's just Chris Arreola, known in boxing, and that's why you, Ness, me, and a couple of other hardcores that know boxing can enjoy this fight. So what do we tell the guys that are saying, man, I don't want to pay for this. I don't know this guy, or this guy's done. This guy's durable. This guy's durable, and he hasn't been beat up as far as being KO'd every single time. How many times he's been stopped? Like 5 times in his career?
So Alex Doomsday. They gonna complain about Canelo stopping Yildirim and Yildirim being a bum, but then they gonna complain about a durable guy too. Like, everybody's complaining about Canelo fighting Yildirim, but then at the same time, why would you complain on Arreola? He doesn't come to lay down. And so, like, at that point, you just can't even deal with the fans because they just gonna be unhappy. They disgruntled. It's like, what have you done for me yesterday? They literally are complaining about Yildirim, and then at the same time, they saying Chris Arreola is guaranteed coming. Yes, the referee might stop it, but he gonna be out there throwing and coming in and working, and it's gonna be bloody. I thought people wanted to see work. Like, I don't get it, dog.
He been TKO'd one time, and then he obviously he's retired in the corner too. But this guy hasn't been put out. He's not easy to put out, man. He's not easy to put out. So yeah, Andy's the one that's on fire right now. Yeah, Andy's the favorite, and yeah, Andy just might stop him, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, guys.
No, not at all.
Now, if it happens to be, all right, that it becomes easy. I mean, I'm just going to have to give Andy his credit, right? I got to give him his credit. Obviously, he's in a better camp now. He's switching some things up. He's healthier. So I'm not expecting Andy to come in here and give us a long-ass fight. You know, that's not what I want either. But I know Chris Arreola is showing up to fight. He's showing up to fight. It's going to be Andy. It's going to be up to Andy to make sure that he makes a statement. So, you know, we want to see Deontay. I mean, we want to see Andy against Deontay Wilder, right? We want to see him against Dillian White. These are the faces that we're more familiar with. But Chris Arreola, I'm gonna have a good time watching that fight. You know, and you just never know, man.
What I want to add is that Chris isn't popular on social media. He doesn't put in that work, but he's been in high-level fights for a long time. So he's just like a known dude, like Salido, right? Salido had 13 losses, but we knew him. Even though it's a bad comparison, I guess, because Chris never became a world champion, but we know what we get. He fought Vitali. I think he fought Vlad as well. He fought Stavern. I mean, Kovnacki, Kaufman,
Eric Molina.
I mean, it's just so many names that are big.
What happened to Nagy Aguilera, bro?
Nagy, my Dominican friend, man.
For real, Chan. Shout out to
Nagy Aguilera, yo. I remember my first time boxing. I got so souped that I sparred the dude that Nagy beat. Nagy beat him. I'm like, oh shit! I sparred a pro. My man had like no wins and shit. I think
it don't matter, bro. We know as well as anybody, man. You step in there with a guy that's been a pro. It's a different look.
My good friend Ronnie Shields is available and he's gonna be jumping on, man. So we're gonna be chopping it up with Ronnie. In the meantime, I want to get to some of these super chats. I don't want to leave no man behind. Looks like we stopped at Jaime Hernandez, who says, any noise around the Tank versus Loma fight? This is what?
Summer.
Oh, okay. You forgot the R. Man, I would love that fight. I see Haney and Loma going at it more. Hopefully
that's a good fight.
Hopefully, because Loma's with Igis Klimas, I mean, they can push for that. You know what I mean? Get that Haney fight, because Loma's responding, and he's responding very well in English. So that means someone's helping. So that means it's more than just him who knows. You know, but
definitely fight.
Yeah, I love that fight. I love that fight. Next one is from
your man Jay Lewis, and he says Povetkin a better pro and amateur than Ortiz. Wow, you think so? I mean, he medaled up. Didn't he medal up? No,
I don't know, but Povetkin been on that high stage, man. He fought Vlad. Yeah. He fought AJ. You know, he fought Dillian, Hunter. You know, he got like two Deontay Wilder opponents on his resume, right? He fought Duhaupas. You know, Povetkin. And matter of fact, didn't Povetkin fight Hellenius or Huck like mad years ago? Povetkin. Listen, Povetkin's biggest knock is that he has popped. He's popped. You know what I'm saying? He's popped. So. You know, but that's what I'm saying. He ain't Canelo, so he don't get the hate of Canelo. Just like Luis Ortiz pop, but he don't get the hate of Canelo. Ronnie Shields, coach, what's going on? We just been joined by world-renowned trainer Ronnie Shields, man. I'm always super appreciative to have you as a friend, and you could just jump on like this. We're talking boxing, we're talking heavyweight boxing, and I find myself defending this Arreola and Ruiz fight. Again, I've told you, I've never even watched not one Super Bowl. So people don't believe me when I say it. So boxing is my Super Bowl. Like, I only watch that sport. I don't go to any other games for any other sport. So all my money goes into boxing. So I guess I'm not suffering. When they tell me that the Arreola versus Ruiz is a potential pay-per-view on Fox, I'm not upset at all. I paid for Charlo's pay-per-view. I paid for Tank's pay-per-view. I paid for Earl versus Danny. You know, I just watched Canelo Yeardom. It doesn't matter to me, you know. But what do you think about this heavyweight fight, since you've trained so many great heavyweights in the past?
Well, I think it's a great fight. You know, and I think it is. It's going to be a good fight. You know, I think both guys bring a lot to the table. You know, Arreola really impressed me in his last fight, although he lost. But he impressed me, you know, and we're going to see what he has left in the tank. But I think it's a good matchup.
Now, do you know who's training Arreola? Because last, I guess, time I seen him in great shape, he was being trained by one of the Goosens.
Joe Goosen.
And I don't know, is he back with them? Who is he with? Because, I mean, we see Andy very visual on social media, and he's training with a high-profile trainer in Eddie Reynoso, and he's even showed us that he's lost the weight. But we are not seeing Arreola. He's been kind of in the dark.
Yeah, I think he's still with Joe Goosen, I believe.
Okay.
As far as I know.
All right. So are you expecting a knockout, or is it unnecessary pressure the fight fans are going to be putting on Ruiz, being as though that Arreola did kind of announce retirement, and now this is Andy's first comeback fight since AJ? Does he have to get a stoppage, in your opinion, in a fight like this?
I don't think he has to get a stoppage. You know, you got to understand when you switch trainers, it's a lot of pressure. You know, it's a lot of pressure that you try to put on yourself because you want to show something different. So I think showing something different in this case, you can't expect a knockout. But, look, it looks good if he gets a knockout. But if he doesn't, as he wins, then I think people will give him a pass on it.
What do you think stylistically, Ronnie, this fight? I mean, we got two guys, Mexican style going forward. We usually see what Andy does. Andy, he goes for the kill, for the most part. Got good head movement. Arreola, sometimes, he gets a little he gets stuck a little bit at times, I feel, how do you think this fight turns out? Does anybody go on the back foot on this one?
Well, I think for Arreola, at the beginning, I think if he's smart, I think he should box at the beginning before he started applying pressure, try to go toe-to-toe with Andy Ruiz. I think right off the bat, Ruiz is built for that. But not Arreola. He can box when he has to box. You got to remember, Arreola was a good amateur fighter too. So you can't forget that. And if he still got those roots in him, then it's no sense in him going toe to toe with a guy that you don't have to. But for Ruiz, on the other hand, that's his style. He's not a boxer. He's a guy that come forward from the very beginning. So this is the way he has to fight. So I think it's going to be an exciting fight. Me and myself, I think if Arreola can box good and win like 4 or 5 rounds at the beginning, that's going to force Ruiz to fight the same way. He won't be able to change anything. But then Arreola, he can switch up at the end and start coming forward and make it even a better fight. So I think it's going to be a good fight, though.
Ronnie, is there anything as a trainer that you're specifically waiting to see from Andy? Like, because me as a fan, I'm like, wow, he's with Reynoso, and we see now Garcia has looked better in his last 3 fights with Reynoso. Valdez just scored a huge knockout over Burchell as an underdog with Reynoso. Canelo continues to be who he is, and they started with Canelo from the beginning. That's his trainer. So it's like, are you as a trainer intrigued to see how Andy looks? Do you think he will change? Because you just basically said that's who he is. He comes forward. Would you want to see something different out of him now that he's with an elite level trainer?
Well, I would want to see something different. I mean, I don't know how much different he can be, because you got to understand, before, he was a big guy, big fat guy, that has a lot of stamina. But now he's losing weight. He's losing weight. I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on him now. Sometimes it's not a good idea to make a guy lose so much weight, because then now you don't know what, he's capable of. So let's see. He may lose power behind that, because he don't have all that weight coming forward. Now, it may be a little different. So, Arreola may not even respect him now.
I see what you're saying. So it's a matter of body composition. He might not be, his reflexes or the way he moves might be a little different in that weight loss. I get it, but. Do we change anything at all? I mean, do we want to change anything at all? With Andy. I mean, do we want to see Andy in there? On his toes, boxing on his back foot. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get any of that, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, look, he's so used to fighting that one style. Why change it? He's been successful at it. He won the heavyweight championship of the world with it. So, why would you change it? I wouldn't change it. I mean, look, you could change some things, but you have to be in the gym with him to see what he need to work on that really, can help him out, and I haven't seen, I haven't ever been in the gym with him, so I don't know what his work habits are or anything like that, but look, I think everybody's going to be intrigued to see what changes he can make.
Are you? Go ahead.
My bad. And that's what I was kind of saying earlier about when you come into camp and you're out of shape, you think your timing is the same when you are in shape, and it's not, because you got to get your weight down. You got to do all these steps before you actually get to work with your real body. And that's what I said. When Andy loses his weight, I would like to see how he performs at the weight, because sometimes, for example, and I'm not saying this is the reason why he lost, when Chad Dawson fought Andre Ward, he made the weight, but he couldn't perform at the weight. Those are two different things. Like, you get on the scale, you think you feel good, you like, I'm ripped, and then you get in there and either you can't get off because you don't have the energy, or you can't take a shot. And I've seen that several times. So you go back to using the straight right hand and throwing a 6 and the right hook. Then you want to make sure Andy is adept working with this certain trainer, because this is his real first time with hearing the language of Rene Donoso, the technical terms that he using. Because when you like in these gyms, not every coach says pull counter or, you know, I'm from Ohio. My coach used to say rock back. You know, that's what they say. You know, you got to know these things. So those things are very important. He might say slide to 2-3 and come back with the hook. You know, if you don't know, you haven't been working with your trainer, those things are different. Because, you know, Virgil has different, like, for example, Virgil Hunter has different terminology when he's talking. You know what I mean? And I'm from Ohio, we talk different. So it was just different for me trying to him work in my corner during sparring or something like that. So I need to see all of that. And Chris Arreola does come with a certain style, but like I said, I feel like he should box. You know, as an Olympian, he was 165, like, and he just happened to just shoot. But an Olympian, he fought at 65 though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta. So if he really wants to box, he could. But you know, Chris Arreola is one of Al's guys, like you said, and I feel like for him taking those tough fights, he is granted this. You like, all right, I get it. Like a lot of these guys saying Chris Arreola could be better, but it's like Adrian Broner. Yes, he does all the clown stuff, but Adrian Broner has never been stopped. So like, he's a worthy opponent because Chris Arreola, too, is one big win away from being back into the heavyweight. If he beat Andy Ruiz, he's back in the contention as a actual contender.
If he beat Ruiz, they going to have a rematch, man. It's going to be like Israel Vasquez versus Rafael Marquez, man. I mean, it's Mexicans. They will do it over and over and over until people stop paying. Marquez fought Pacquiao 4 times because we kept paying, man. It's just
Ronnie. I had a question for you, right? In a land of giants that the heavyweight division is, right? And Andy's taken out one guy already, but you know, some say that it might have been a fluke or whatnot. How do you match him up against the other guys? Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. You know, this is a smaller heavyweight in this division, nonetheless. But he did have luck with AJ, and you know, some say that he could have done it the second time, but he came in too heavy. But how about a Wilder or a Tyson Fury, for that matter, a guy that can box like him?
Well, you know, the thing about it is we see that, you know, Andy seemed like he take a pretty good shot also. But understand, when you lose that kind of weight, you know, your chin may not hold up as it did when you was that big, you know?
Well, Ronnie, they said that he's only lost 25 total. It was 20, and then now it's a 25.
It don't matter because sometimes
it doesn't matter.
The weight could be atrophy, and atrophy is actual muscle loss. Like that's why they call it the sweet science. You want to lose a certain amount of body fat. If you use too much.
Gentlemen, he's working with the strength and conditioning coach of Canelo Alvarez. The man,
I know,
the man responsible.
How he's gonna take a
But
punch,
we do,
man.
Troy. We do. Listen, he's working with the strength and conditioning coach responsible for helping Canelo jump how many weight classes?
4.
Yeah, look. But you know, but everybody's body is different.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. I mean, for Canelo, he's a smaller guy. So maybe it's easier for him to go up and come back down than it is for Joshua. I mean, for Ruiz to come down than to go back up. So, you know, everything is not the same when you're losing weight than when you're gaining weight. Mm-hmm. You got to understand, you know, that's a hard thing sometimes, you know, and then again, it's the way he's losing it. You know, we don't know the way he's losing it. We don't know if he's still going to have all the flubber, you know, all the fat that's going to be hanging. You know, we haven't seen that yet. So let's see what it looked like first before we, you know, even consider judging how he's going to be. Because if he lost it in a good way, in a proper way, then, you know, nothing should change. Then he should be the same around everything. But if he's one of those guys that just losing weight and not trying to tighten up at the same
strengthen
time.
up.
But that's not what he's doing.
Story.
That's not what he's doing. See, and I love where we've come, man. I've been doing this so long now. Every fighter on this level has a YouTube channel. I mean, he's putting out episodes, Ronnie. He's showing you like 20 minutes of what a 2-hour workout would be. So obviously you're getting, that condensed information, but you see Canelo's strength and conditioning coach pushing his ass, and they're working. They're doing a lot of stuff with agility, speed, also weight. I don't think he's taking it at all wrong. And we got to remember, he's been out over a year working. When we thought he wasn't going to work with Eddie and everybody was like, oh, I thought he was going to go with Eddie. Now we see him with Jorge. He was pre-camping with Jorge Capetillo. So, I mean, he seems focused. He seems focused.
Yeah. So, look, but again, that's wait and see. Let's wait and see what the weight loss does for him. I've seen guys, heavyweights lose weight, look good, but it was different. They wasn't the same guy.
Or Chris Bird.
Chris Bird
was like.
Yeah, Chris Bird was that way.
Chris Bird was like that. Like when I watched him as a heavyweight, it's like he had an advantage because he was quick. He had a skill set, like a boxing skill set, and he could out-slick the heavyweights. But then when he tried to go down in weight, it just wasn't the same. Like
it wasn't him.
And I'm not saying that he's not doing everything correct. I'm not saying that. I just, as for example, I would just ask Mr. Shields, like, from your experience and expertise, when have you seen the best of a fighter? When they go up in weight or when they go down in weight?
Well, actually, I've seen both. I've seen guys do good going up and going down. But at the same time, everybody's different though. I've seen guys go up and down and not look good at all because, sometimes your body just not used to it. It's a different story when you fight in front of people or in this case now, since this pandemic, not fighting in front of people. So, because you're in the gym all the time. So, but still, but your mind sometimes plays a big difference, when you get inside that ring. And
trying to tell you,
it's an old saying, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, And sometimes your mind is not used to you being so small in a real fight than it is when
you might feel weak.
That's right.
No, let me tell you. I used to walk around at
feeling.
170, dog. I used to be 170, and that's why I used to be sparring like middleweight guys, and I'm only 5'8.5". I used to be sparring like 54-pounders, 60-pounders, and then as I start getting more adept to boxing, I start saying, sheesh, these dudes is kind of too big. So then once I got down in weight, the punches do feel different because you don't have the mass that like before my arms was so kind of cocked up, dog. Like they could be throwing shots and I could just be catching them on my arms and they'd be like, that's cheating, Troy. Can't nobody get in there. And then once I lost weight, guys can like sneak in shots and I don't have that weight there. Like I'm not stocky like that. And then I'm getting down and I'm pushing them up. No, I'm 445 now. I'm a real welterweight. It's different. I need to be in there.
But also you got to remember though, this is why it's called training. You have to train yourself to be a certain way inside of that ring. So he could get used to it, but again, we don't know until the fight actually happens. Once the fight actually happens, then we're going to know everything that we need to know. But again, Chris Arreola, for the way he looked in his last fight, I thought it was a huge improvement that he showed. And, sometimes even if you lose, that confidence comes, at a certain level and you keep that. So hopefully, he does and he keeps it and we'll see. It could be a really exciting fight, man, that people don't think it may not be.
Ronnie, has Canelo Alvarez surpassed Julio Cesar Chavez as all-time Mexican?
No, not yet. It's too early. It's still too early. Look, he has a lot of fights, which like damn near every Mexican has. Because they start fighting when they're 12 and 13 years old as a professional. You know, I mean, look at it. He has a lot of fights already.
Yeah.
But still, you know, he haven't fought the magnitude of fighters that Julio Cesar Chavez fought.
Who did
he's getting
Chavez
close.
fight?
But
Because
hold on,
I
he's
upset
getting
a few
close,
people. I upset a few people the other day, and I'm like, man, Chavez fought. Like, isn't there like a phrase in boxing about his little 80-0? You know, people who like to say,
Nope.
So you know, but you are a historian and you've been in the sport. Please tell us, like, were there some valuable wins inside those 80? That first 80?
Well, no. I mean, I don't think like maybe not in the first 30 because they was all in Mexico, you know.
And he was fighting like 5 times a year.
but look at Canelo. Canelo has a lot of fights right now also, you know. So, but I just think, look, man, it you know, Canelo can in another year or so he would jump over Julio Cesar Chavez. Definitely would jump over him. Because he's fighting some good quality fighters right now.
Did Chavez unify as many divisions?
I mean, he won a lot of world titles in a lot of divisions, but I don't think he unified as much because, again, it's the politics of boxing. So, you know, I mean, it's different and it's hard. You know, I think when you start getting all of the different networks get involved in these things, you know, it's hard to unify. And I think, you know, we all see that, you know, because everybody wanted, you know, if you got a contract with Showtime, this guy got a contract with HBO, this guy got a contract with Fox, this guy got a contract with ESPN. You know, look, it's, you know.
And it was like that back then, Ronnie? I mean, you know.
It wasn't like that back then.
Sometimes we say that
back then you really only had HBO back then. But then Showtime came into the mix. When Showtime came into the mix, that threw a wrench in unifying. That's why we got so many champions today because of that. And you know, and look, it's so crazy that I saw Suleiman say the other day that, you know, we need to get one champion. You know, look, you guys they started it.
Yeah.
They started it. They started giving belts to this guy, to that guy, to that guy, to that guy. And then now you're getting 2 and 3 world champions in the same division. You know, it's their fault because of sanctioning fees. It's their fault. And now they want to fix it? How can you fix it now when you won't get rid of those other champions that you so-called have in your division?
Well, I mean, they can't get rid of other sanctioning bodies champions.
I'm saying, but they won't get rid of their own. They won't get rid of their own. Look,
so you mean like
interim champion?
Okay.
You got a world champion. You got an interim champion.
Super.
Yeah. You know,
gold
come on,
champs,
man.
everything.
And it is all because of money.
Hey, Ronnie, let me get your 5 recommend I must watch Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. fights. I want to do some homework. The 5 that you think I need to watch.
2 of them got to be Melchick Taylor.
Well,
Purnell, got to watch the Purnell.
You got to watch Purnell.
Damn, let the man answer.
I relate to this, man. I like
You got to watch the Purnell Whitaker. You got to watch the Melchick Taylor. You got to watch the Frankie Randall.
That's the one I did watch as a kid where he fucking lost, though. They robbed Randall. But go ahead.
Yeah, that was a huge upset at that time. You know,
I remember watching that.
Even
was it
Don
like
King,
an Andy Ruiz AJ upset?
Even Don King was surprised that Frankie Randall won that.
Hell yeah. Listen, as a child watching that, I don't know how young I was, but I know I was a kid watching it with my dad on HBO, and I understood Frankie Randall won back then. You know what I mean? So like it was crazy.
But look, you just go back to the old saying, styles make fights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it was. Frankie Randall had the style that Chavez didn't know what to do with.
Yep.
So just to repeat, you said Frankie Randall, Melchick Taylor,
Purnell
Whitaker.
Two more.
Oh man. Let me see.
Who sticks out?
I can't even think about who sticks out now.
It's been so long ago too, man.
I'm telling you.
I have a question. Hey, run them punches. I got a question. Who, besides Pernell Whitaker, Mr. Shields, who is the best skilled fighter that you work with? You know, respectively, like just as far as their defense, the offense, how they catch punches, slip punches. It don't matter the demographic or nothing.
Evander Holyfield was definitely one, and a guy that probably a lot of you guys you've heard of him, and you probably know him, but you don't talk about him a lot. And I would say this guy Jesse James Playhouse.
Oh yeah,
from San Antonio, Texas. You know, James. You know, he fought a lot of fighters, man, and he won a lot. You know, he won a lot of world championships. He won a few world championships. Matter of fact, you know. But I would definitely say Jesse James Playhouse. He's one of the guys that, you know, I mean, he was surprising to a lot of people. You know, his name don't stick out like a Pernell Whitaker or Melody Taylor or something like that. But he was definitely one of the guys that I really enjoyed working with. He was always willing to learn, and you know, and always gave me that opportunity to show him different things. And I would say. Vernon Forrest was another guy that a lot of people didn't probably think he was, you know, one of the top tier fighters, but he was. You know, he was a really, really good fighter.
He stopped Shane from getting to the Olympics.
Yeah, he stopped Shane from being Olympics, and then he took Shane's title as a professional.
Back to back, too, right? He beat him back to back, right?
Yeah, back to back.
That was crazy. I remember watching those fights on HBO too, man. HBO was damn. They used to put fights. But they was the only ones, really. They were the only ones. But listen, I'm going to change the topic and stir the pot, man. What's up with your man Charlo saying he got to fight Benavidez at a catch weight of 164. He got to take a vaccine. And now he talking about he won his passport and shit and blood type. What's going on, man? What's going on, Ronnie? Can we get this super fight with because listen, I mean, Canelo ain't coming back. He made it clear. He did a bunch of interviews, and he said it's 68, and Charlo would have to move up. I mean, and I know there's no guarantee if you move up either, so you're kind of in a rock and a hard place. What do you guys do?
Well, you know, I think right now, Jamal doesn't have any problem making 160 pounds. So, you know, he's a middleweight. I mean, simple as that, you know. And we would definitely only go up probably right now only to fight Canelo Alvarez. You know, nothing else makes sense up there. So, you know, if it doesn't make sense, it don't make dollars. So,
so then what makes sense at 160 right now? Like when do you expect your fighter back in the ring? First of all,
well, I think we're looking at May or June right now.
Okay.
We're looking at May or June.
Main event, or co-main of something big. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I just talked to Al just a couple of days ago, and he told me I'd get back with me soon. But, you know, and, you know, what he does is he get back with me with names, and he'll throw some names at me. And, you know, and we'll have a discussion with me, him, and Jamal. We'll sit down and have a discussion, and then we'll see what's best. But right now, I have no names. He'll get with the matchmakers and see. And see what's up.
Who would you like it to be since you don't got no names? Let's put something in the universe, man. Let's see if the universe can give us what you want. WBC rankings, I'll just tell you.
I really haven't even been looking yet.
I'm
trying to get my amateur kids ready for the nationals.
You was going.
Who you got? Who you got in the amateurs, Mr. Shields? Who you got? I
got three guys. I got three guys you never heard of. So you know, but they some pretty decent. Amateur kids, and hopefully, you know, we can spring them up and they get going. But I got a heavyweight.
What show you was going to, Ronnie? Were you going to the one in Louisiana that got canceled?
Yeah, Shreveport.
Oh man, I was gonna.
Actually, I'm not going.
What weight class you got a guy? Because I got a kid that was supposed to be.
I got a heavyweight.
Okay,
I got a heavyweight.
He's a cruiserweight.
Oh yeah, I don't have a cruiserweight there.
All right, cool.
I have a heavyweight. I got a small kid that's he's like 100 pounds. Okay. He's going, and then I got another kid. He's gonna fight at I think at 152.
Man.
Oh yeah, okay. I got to get some work on him then, cause I'm a welterweight. Where you at in Texas?
Yep.
Yeah. When I get down, I'm gonna come down there and visit. I definitely work with the guy. I'm an older gentleman, but I started boxing late. But I got like a crazy IQ, Mr. Shields. So I just be liking to work with the guys. And I just heard through the grapevine that the best coaches coach professionals and amateurs at the same time. That's what I heard.
I got amateurs and professionals right here in the gym right now.
Shout out to Arliano Sosa, man. Heavily underrated trainer, and all his amateurs turned pros and are now big-time pros. Chris Colbert, Nikita Abba Ali, Rashad Mati. I mean, he's got Lennox Allen, Big Baby. I mean, you know, he's underrated, that guy right there. There's another one with a lot of amateurs. And he's got Shushu going to the Olympics, too. You know Bruce Carrington? Have you heard of him? No? Oh, you have.
Heard of him.
Yeah. So you don't want to throw no names out there for
No,
Jamal.
I don't. I hate to throw names out, and then it doesn't come true. So
let's throw some hypotheticals out there.
Yeah, I want hypotheticals.
Look, I'll throw the first one
out there to you first. Remember that, right?
You did. We were grateful. But listen, we need some hypotheticals. I mean, honestly, there's nothing really sexy in the WBC rankings other than Jaime Munguia at this point. And he's not on the network. So, I mean, under that is, again, Dervinchenko, who you just faced. Liam Williams, who's scheduled to fight Bubu Andrade in a mandatory for the WBO. Selecki, which would be a common opponent with Andrade and Jacobs. So I guess that makes sense. Also, Rosado faced Selecki. Juan Montiel. I wonder would they make you guys fight that guy. Jambek, Ali Makan, whatever. Isn't he trained by Joel Diaz? Right? Nobody knows?
Well, Johnny Beck?
Yeah.
Ali Conley?
Yeah. I think he's trained by Joel Diaz, probably. The one that trains Yildim.
Yeah,
You already fought Brian Adams. Oh, wow. Is it Falco? Is Falco with PBC? Didn't he just get a stoppage? The Brazilian?
Let's see.
The Brazilian.
Yeah, the Falco Jr.?
I don't think he's Esquiva. I don't think he's a junior. Yeah, he did just get the stoppage over the dude Wolverine that never been stopped. That fought Billy Joe and who he fought? Akavar fought. Oh, he fought Billy Joe and Andre and didn't get stopped. Is he with PBC? No, that was a DAZN fight, right? No, he just stopped. Is he with PBC, Bronny?
Who is that?
The Brazilian, 28 and 20.
I think he is with PBC.
Man, I guess that's a decent fight. That would be more him coming out than that's like he's getting a title shot. I don't see nothing here making sense. What's Al gonna do for Jamal? Can we get a unification? We still mad at Andre? It's 2021. We still mad this year? I would take that unification, man. That would be a great fight.
We'll see.
Oh man. What about
Triple G? No, just kidding.
Would you fight? Would you fight the dude Keller Plant just fought? Because he moved down now.
The last guy?
Feisenbutz, yep. I mean, they did good ratings on PBC. They did over 1 million, right?
Yeah, they did over 1 million.
Oh,
But, if the guy moves down, Jamal knocks him out, people go, he ain't fighting nobody. Caleb fans just beat him. Blah, 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 So it's the same old thing. It's a lose-lose situation when you do things like that.
I think Top Rank got Esquiva on this.
Oh, is that Eubank fight off the table now? Because he re-signed to like Matchroom or Hennessy. He went to the UK. He talking UK now. Yeah, he talking Brooke and Williams. He don't even talk Charlo no more. Damn. So.
Well, that guy. He's, him and his father. They on some weird street. So I don't know. They crazy as hell.
Yo, that's funny you said that because Eddie said the same thing, that they obviously, overvalue themselves.
They do. They way overvalue themselves. When he came over to PPC, he wanted this, he wanted that. You can't come in and you're not going to come run things, you got to come in as gentlemen, and then you have to come in, saying, okay, you go get this fight, you go get that fight. That was no problem. But when you try to run things, that's way the wrong attitude to come in. So
I'm still looking at this whole. I mean, look, the ring.
No, I'm looking too. I don't really see no names like
Nothing.
I was just about to ask Mr. Shields, like, what would be that if Canelo had said that, okay, you can get the fight at 168, but you had to fight somebody first in the division. What would be that name that you'd fight at 68 before fighting the Canelo?
I don't know. I mean, right now, I mean, just looking at the guys, I don't know. I mean, if Jamal fought Plant, that should be an easy fight to make because they're both over at PBC. Even if he fight Benavidez, that should be. But still, I don't know. I don't know.
Would you fight Plant? Because listen, the obviously Canelo's put his plan out there. It's already signed, sealed, delivered. He's fighting Billy Joe, going for a second unification. He unified with Callum with the vacant WBC and the Super WBA. Now he's gonna unify in 8th of May with Billy Joe Saunders, and his plans are to send the third offer to Caleb Plant. But if you get in the middle of that, it would be for Charlo, because his plan is to undispute, because no Latino American has allegedly undisputed 168. Push for that Plant fight. I mean, there's nothing there unless you're going to fight like Sergio Martinez, who's back in the rankings somehow. He's at number 5 in the WBA. There's nothing big on the PBC side. Nothing. Gennady is with DAZN. Andrade is with DAZN. Derevyanchenko does not deserve a rematch. Murata is with Top Rank. Brandt is with Top Rank. Eubank is with a UK promoter now. Liam Williams is with Frank Williams. Jaime is with DAZN. I mean, there's nothing there. It might have to be a move up or a move down. I heard him on Instagram. You think you believe him, or you think he's just teasing us? He talking about I'm really a 54-pounder. You think he could go back down?
He's definitely not going back down.
He definitely
I
not.
checked that right now. Definitely not. There's no way in the world he could make 154.
Damn, Ronnie, this guy's gonna sit on the shelf for a year, you think?
No, absolutely not. Look, he's a champion, so we're going to stay busy. We're going to get busy fights, and that's it. But again, you just got to wait to see what's going to happen.
Do you think that you guys would, can you call the mandatory? Because Jaime's number 1. Is he your mandatory? Jaime Munguia?
Look, I don't know how he got to be number 1 in the WBO and WBC, so I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
but you got to remember, we just fought the mandatory with
Derevyanchenko?
Yeah, he was in the mandatory.
So you got a year from that date to do your thing for voluntaries. So that means you planning a voluntary. Let me move up and see. Is there somebody you bringing down that y'all negotiating with from 68, or you will be bringing someone up from 54? Jarrett Hurd, there was talk about those fights. Is Jarrett Hurd an option?
I haven't heard anything about Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd is training here in Houston, actually.
Yeah, with Kei Kimura.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about the new Big Baby? I love him.
I haven't seen him.
What?
No?
Ronnie, you got to stop this PBC only viewing stuff. You got to watch everybody, man. Come on, man.
What you talking about?
Yo, man, you don't watch no Dead Zone, so now you don't watch Top Rank either? Yo, the new Big Baby Jared Anderson, man, keep your eye on him, man. Don't you got a heavyweight?
No, I know him. Look, when I was sparring, when I had F.A. Jaguar, he was coming over and sparring with F.A.
Wow.
So I know him. I know who he is. It's not like I don't know who he is.
So,
no, he's good.
So how good was he doing with F.A. back then?
He's a good young heavyweight.
How good was he doing with F.A. back then?
He did real good with F.A. I told Jay Prince at that moment, I said, this kid is going to be something else, man. I said, he's really good.
Wow. Man,
and, I think if they keep putting him at the pace they got him going on right now,
That's good.
is going to build his confidence up. And look, this kid, he has the power, he has the height, he has the, all you need is experience. And if they keep doing what they're doing right now, this kid is going to be hell to beat.
Yo, you say he got the height, but I feel like he's short. I was just with him. He's.
I mean, you tall as hell, Ness.
Who we talking about?
I'm tall but thin. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I'm heavy, I don't look like these heavy. I take pictures with these. I'm like, God damn, Big Baby is big. Wilder is 230, but he's like so muscular.
Frame is wide.
Even Povetkin, he was short, but he was like jacked up. It's like shoulders and stuff. But wow, that's I don't know. I thought he was a little undersized, especially even in his last fight. He was with a guy that wasn't, of the pedigree of Jared Anderson, but he was.
I bet.
eBay is how they pronounce it on Top Rank.
His body might be kind of dense, though. Or his body might be kind of dense. It's different types of heavyweights, because even at light heavyweight, Dwight Muhammad Qawi was like 5'7". You know what I'm saying? And he fought at light heavyweight, and that was Evander's toughest fight, because the skill set of the man determined how the fight was gonna come out. So if Big Baby works on his craftsmanship, then the size is not gonna matter, because you can neutralize the bigger man. Actually, like it's easier than what people think it is.
He's fast.
It's just you have to really work your skill set.
It's like what you guys were
all you got to do is look at Wilder. Wilder had height, but Wilder was a skinny dude, man, with a lot of power. So that's
but that's what I'm saying, Ronnie. He ain't that skinny though. Like,
no, he ain't that skinny, but I mean,
he's
but
actually
the kid can fight. He got a good amateur pedigree behind him.
No, what I'm saying is Wilder's not that skinny. I've been in a lot of his camps, and his 230, his 230, and even 219, but still is like muscle. All like he's big, and
I'm talking about the Wilder that won the heavyweight championship at 210, 212. Look at that Wilder.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. We got some questions from the people. We got right there in San Antonio, Texas, says, when can we expect Cowboy Carl back in the ring?
Hopefully in
April?
Like May or June.
Oh, so it's not Richardson Hitchens? Have you gotten an offer for Hitchens from TMT Promotions?
Who was that?
Have you gotten an offer to fight Richardson Hitchens from TNT Promotions for Ryan Cowboy Carl?
No. Let me say the last guys they called me about for him was Omar Figueroa.
Oh wow!
Wow, Figueroa.
They bringing Figueroa back at what weight?
I think that's the fight that's going to happen, and it may be April or May.
At what weight though? 47. Carl moving up.
140.
40. 40. Omar come back down to 40.
Omar gonna make 140 with who? Who's training him?
I have no idea. That's not my problem.
Yo, so we were having a conversation with Richardson Hitchens. Have you seen him? His last fight was against former world champion Argenis Mendez from DR.
Yes, I seen that kid.
And
that kid is good.
There was some conversations. He believes he's ready for Barrios right now, and I was like, maybe you need to fight someone that Barrios has beat right now. He's like, who the hell has Barrios even beat for you to say that? You know what I mean? Like, I will win that fight with just a jab. And I'm like, well, you ain't been in the ring with a guy like Carl. Carl he's like that Mexican style, except he's not Mexican. How do you think Carl will do in that fight? And would you allow that fight if the Figueroa fight fell apart?
Well, I mean, I have to really look at Hitchens. I haven't looked at him as an opponent, so it's hard for me to say how he would do against Carl right now. But Cowboy, when he fought Barrios, his eyesight was really bad. So he just had that surgery on his eyes, and so now hopefully he's better. He's getting ready to start coming down here. Actually, in another week or two.
Nice.
Yeah, Ness, sorry, I hate to switch the question real quick, but I wanted to ask Ronnie his opinion when he heard the purse bid win that Triller entered with Fatil versus George and Bosos.
Hey man, look, you know, if I was on the other end of that, you know, if I was the Kid Lopez, I'd be jumping up and down like a baby, you know, because I think that's great. It's really great that, you know, that other people are starting to try to get into this thing and knocking out the, you know, the big guys like Top Rank, you know, and even Eddie Hearn, Matchroom even bid it on the purse bid, and none of them even came close.
Yeah.
But you know what I really liked about it though was that, you know, Aram was mad at Hearn because Hearn bid it on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, any purse bid is open to anybody. You know, Top Rank has won bids on, and other guys have promoters. But why is he mad at Eddie Hearn? Because Eddie Hearn bid it on somebody that he you know that he promotes. You know, well, why would he get mad at Eddie Hearn?
Because he was trying to teach a lesson to T.O. Remember, he was trying to teach T.O. a lesson by telling him he wasn't worth.
He taught him a hell of a lesson. Now T.O. is making a lot of money. Now he's going to make money off of T.O. because he's the promoter. He get a percentage of the $6 million. So.
Yeah, he
knows how this works.
Yeah, he was on. He already did an
been doing this
interview.
a long time. He knows how it works. He know he wasn't gonna put up no $6 million.
No.
You know.
He said that he stretched it out at 2.3. He only thought 2 million was enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he think of his fighter. That's what he think of his fighter.
Yo,
I told y'all he only thinks that because top rank. When you upset one of Top Rank's guys who they pay invested in, he's not gonna double back and invest on you. He never expected T.O. to do these because he wasn't the guy, so that money wasn't there for T.O. So when T.O. does win, it's kind of like we still got to recoup this money. Like, yes, T.O.'s winning, but we already paid them. It's already been spent with this guy. So like that's the business of it. And Bob Arum gonna say, well, go over there. We can still make our 800,000. You could do that 3 more times. And I hope they just buy you out because we never invested in you.
Ronnie, I gotta go back. Is the Carl Figueroa fight on the pay-per-view undercard?
I have no idea what card is on yet.
Okay.
I'm still waiting. Okay. I'm still waiting to find out.
That would be that would make some sense though. That would make some sense. Bring that to Texas. Bring that fight to Texas. Omar from Texas. All 3 Mexicans. That makes some damn sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We got another one for you here from Ruin at 504 New Orleans. Says, does Jamal make the move to 168 or go after the Andrade fight? You kind of answered that already. We got to wait and see is the answer. Jesse Casada says, will Jamal be fighting one of the 3 names next? Andre, Jacobs. I didn't think of that. What about Jacobs? That's good.
He's at 168 though, no?
He is. But that was like something.
That little beef they had over there in New York.
There was a little bit of beef.
I like that.
Jacobs,
listen, man, y'all not getting Mr. Shields has he like an old school trainer, and I've been looking on this camera on my computer. When y'all say a name, he was a professional boxer. His face don't even move. He's not giving you nothing. Listen, I'm been looking at him looking to see if his eye because boxers know other boxers. I'm looking for something. He not doing. He just like, you gotta wait and see. And that's killing me.
Yeah, you got to wait and see what's going to happen, man. I mean, you know, again, right now, it's a wait and see thing for everybody. So, but, you know, as soon as it come, I'll give you a hint as soon as it come.
We got King Amin and Essex says, peace, Coach. Do you agree the road to Canelo fight is through a matchup with Triple G? And is a fight with Triple G something that you guys are interested in making? Both are obviously yes.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, look, Triple G has been one of the best fighters out there, but you know, it's a wait and see thing. You know, still, with them all having a deal over at Showtime and those guys on Dazn, I don't know. That's how it's going to work. Unless they do a split pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're interested in that. I mean, but again, that's not my call.
Boston Jarrett says, "Good morning, Coach Shields. Can you please tell the Mayweather Jr. Pernell Whitaker sparring story?" Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah, man. Hey, let me tell you something. That it's not fair for me to say one way or another how Floyd did, because understand that day that Pernell sparred with Floyd, he sparred with 2 other guys also. So he sparred with 3 guys. But Floyd didn't go first. Floyd went second. And so, Floyd, he made a good account of himself. We all knew then that Floyd Mayweather was going to be something special because he did really good against Pernell. I can't say he got the best of Pernell. He didn't get the best of Pernell, but you saw, but you saw it in him that, he could do really good against anybody. And,
you knew that if the time came that he can pull up and do the thing.
How old was he at the time, Coach?
How old was Floyd? It was right after the Olympics. It was right after the Olympics.
So still
about 19.
So yeah. So I don't know how old he was when he went to the Olympics. So however age he was when he went to the Olympics, it was right after that.
All right.
Yeah, I seen Floyd sparring in person.
It was right after that. It was right after that. And I'm telling you something, man. Floyd always had good defense, and and Pernell Whitaker was a master at it. So, but the difference was with Pernell with his hands down and Floyd with his hands up. But Floyd, he did his 3 rounds. I mean, it was really competitive, but at the same time, Pernell had already went 3 rounds, and then he went Floyd 3 rounds, then he came back with another 2 guys after that. So, so Pernell really couldn't go all out because he had to go like 6 more rounds after Floyd. So, but again, we all knew at the time that Floyd was going to be a special fighter.
I seen Floyd spar in person. I was like, man, God been so good to me. I seen him spar for 2 camps. And when I say if y'all ain't never really been in the gym with somebody like Floyd, it's kind of like, I'm from Akron, so it's kind of like being around like LeBron James or like some type of football player. That's when I really realized, damn, boxing is and I was a boxer, but watching Floyd let me know that boxing is really dangerous. Because Floyd was breaking down guys so big, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. And then I trained in the gym with Andre Ward, too, and for a part of my career. And when I say Andre Ward used to be sparring people 6'5", 6'6", and really breaking these guys down, I'm telling y'all, man, Floyd looked so unreal in there. It looked like a Kung Flu flick. Because now at this age, he's mastered this stuff, and he kind of just going through the motions, man. It's crazy, man. If y'all really see it, it don't look real because he's paying these guys good money to give him good pressure and hard punches, and he's talking through the sparring, giving a tutorial, catching the punches, rolling them, tying the guys up, and then at one point he'll just stop talking, and then he's just throwing right hand after right hand, not in the shell the whole time. He in there fighting like Frazier. He's trying everything. But by the time the fight comes, there's nothing he hasn't seen. Man, I'm telling you, you gotta watch it, dog. It's crazy.
We got J-Mac in the New Orleans who says, "Good morning, Coach Shields. When Laura was in his prime, didn't you really believe he'd beat Mayweather at 154?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think if they would have fought at 154, I really think Evaslande Lara would have won the fight. Lara, man, this kid, he was so fast. Good jab. He wasn't a power puncher, but he just put punches together so well, and he put different combinations together for a southpaw. That I've never seen other than with Pernell Whitaker.
His second part was, do you really think Canelo beat Laura in your honest opinion?
Absolutely not. I still today think Laura won the fight. You know, look, it's like any high profile fight, you know, even judges got they favorites, you know, and that shouldn't be. I've always said, you know, when it comes to judging, that they need to get people whose mind is open to, you know, to start losing, you know. I mean, you know, it's not fair, you know, because everybody work hard, you know, not to say that somebody works harder than the other guy. That to me, that's always been crazy, that they favor a guy going in, you know. You should be no favorites, you know, going into any fight. It should be, look, that these guys fight, you know. The only favor should be is that if you gambling, then you favor that. But as far as, you know, all these commissions, you know, they should tell all of these judges, look, man, you know, both guys work hard. You know, when you get to a certain point in your career, you know, you didn't get there by accident. You got there by working hard. Everybody have families to feed, and then for you to just blatantly, you know, steal a fight from a guy, you know, and I really believe that whether I'm in a favorites corner or the not so favorites corner, you know, it shouldn't be a favorite going into a fight like that.
Definitely kind of agree.
He does agree, exactly.
Yo, what do you think that Laura needed to do more of, or you think he did more than enough?
No, I don't think he did more. I think he could have done a lot more. But understand something. He knew who he was fighting at the time. And, you know, Canelo's a strong fighter. He can punch with both hands. So, you know, a couple of times he got in close, but he got in close, and he said he was really strong when he was close. So I said, okay, so we go, you know, we had two plans. One plan, of course, box. The other plan was when we do get in close with him, we have to punch with him. We can't let him do all the punching when he was close. So he did that. He got cut. And once he got cut, you know, of course, we didn't want to get as close again because we didn't want to get the cut to open up, as you know, to get worse than what it already was. So, you know, the plan was then to just, okay, let's just stay with the plan on the outside the box. But I think if he would have engaged more, still, I don't think they would have gave us rounds anyway.
We got another one from LV Slugger who says, can Jamal Charlo get that Murata unification if he asks for it?
Well, I don't know. He had to ask Showtime. You know, you got to ask Steven Espinosa that. But he let him go over there, or would Dazn let him come over to?
No, that's Top Rank.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, Top Rank, ESPN. Mm-hmm. You know, could they let him come over to Showtime? You know, and that's the tricky thing about these things. You know, everybody wants it on their network. That's why you sign these guys, to show them on that network. You ain't signing them so they can go over and go to another network to try to unify. Yeah. And that's the problem with unification today, is that, you know, guys want to unify, but, you know, you can't leave your network to go unify.
Mm-hmm. Jay Lewis says, what about Eubank? But you kind of answered that too. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I already answered.
Well, Ronnie, that is it. I want to thank you for coming on.
Hold up. You know, I got to slide through with the world famous questions. Mr. Shill, I got two very world famous questions that I must ask you. Actually, I'll make it three. I'll make it quick, okay? The first one is, when you are in the gym and you do have control of the music, what music do you like to listen to in the gym?
Well, actually, you know, being an ex-fighter, and I used to want to listen to certain music, but as a trainer, I let the guys pick whatever they want to pick, as long as it's not a lot of profanity.
Beautiful. My second question, second and third question is, given you're such a world-renowned trainer, super busy, what would be your pre-fight meal that you would have, and your post-fight guilty pleasure? Like, I had a tough fight, it was a long night, I got to have it when I get out the ring.
Well, for me, as a fighter,
or
my favorite meal was pasta, as the fighter. But afterwards, it was a hamburger, french fries, and a Coke.
Mm-hmm. What is it about pasta? Because Francis has made this his thing, and it's like every fighter says pasta.
It's the carbs.
It's the carbs. That's right. You gotta have something that will sustain you, and that's what stays with you. Wow. Pasta stays with you.
Some heavy carbs.
It burns out perfectly.
So what about as a trainer? Can you give us an insight as a trainer what that would be like?
Oh man, I mean, I love fried chicken. For me,
let's go, champ.
If I can get fried chicken that's really good, that's what I'm going for.
That's pre-fight and post-fight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Do you always eat with your fighters after the weigh-in, or do you guys eat separately?
It depends. It depends on how many people are going.
Yeah.
If there's a whole bunch of people going, I'm not going. I hate big crowds.
Yeah.
I hate big crowds. But if it's just a few of, like right now, we don't have a choice, right? Because of the pandemic, we don't have a choice. But when I did have a choice, if it's too many people going, I'm not doing it.
Mr. Shields, one final question, real quick. What is your favorite fried chicken spot?
Well, here in Houston, my favorite chicken spot is Popeyes.
Ooh, I was gonna say Popeye. You gotta go check out Chris Colbert's spot. You got a little chicken spot.
I heard people talking about it. His Spanish chicken spot was really nice.
Man.
Hey, Ronnie. Oh my God. Okay. We were talking foods. Yes. So, what if you train in the morning, right? And you're not fighting.
We do train in the morning.
All right. So then, what? You can't eat pasta in the morning, like before sparring. What should you eat?
Oh no. I mean, no, like pancakes, eggs, grits. You gotta have something to sustain you. But you gotta do it like a couple hours before you go train.
So you gotta wake up early.
Absolutely.
Eat early. Some of us have trouble eating in the morning. I think that's why Ness asked too, because he usually gets up with a giant cup of water, which is, I think, very good for your health. And I do
with my diet now.
I haven't eaten yet, Ronnie. I haven't eaten yet, and I just moved. I just moved, and I live in Florida now. I was living in the tri-state.
Oh, you're in Florida.
I bought a house out here, and I'm feeling young.
There you go.
But when I trained in New Jersey, I would train after the show. So I didn't want to eat anything heavy in spa and then be like,
No, you're not supposed to eat nothing heavy when you get ready to spar. Or I train, matter of fact. I've seen guys do that and have to throw up, man. It's crazy.
Spill the
that's
cookies.
what happens. No.
So since you're working with amateurs, Ronnie, obviously they're training for 3-round fights, 2-minute rounds, some of them.
Right.
How do you train them all the same? Because, if you train for 12 rounds, you'll be ready for 3-minute rounds, or 2-minute rounds rather for 3 rounds, or
no, I train them a little different. You have to train them a little different. I can't train them like I train a professional guys, because professionals are training for longer rounds.
Yes.
These guys got to get it. You don't have time to just get in there and not do anything. You got to get it. So that's the difference between, an amateur fighter and a professional fighter, And, even the running has to be different. Everything has to be different with them.
How do you train these amateurs for that stamina, that amateur style where they got to throw a million combinations or a million punches just to win a round?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you do. Everything got to be intense. Everything is an intense workout. Even just hitting the bags. We stay on them. Let's go. You got to let them punches go. You got to let the punches fly. And the thing about it is, you have to be accurate with the punches. You can't just throw punches and say I'm throwing punches. No, the punches got to hit a certain spot.
That's
right. You got to look for certain spots. And but at the same time, letting both hands go. So it's, amateur fighting is really intense, man. And, the workouts got to be really intense. And, we do a lot of different drills also.
What kind of drills?
With the amateurs. One drill we do is called a 15-second drill, right? Which is let your hands go for 15 seconds. You're 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off for a whole round, And that's, you got to get that heart rate up. If you don't get the heart rate up and back down, that's the way you got to do it. Heart rate up, heart rate down. Heart rate up, heart rate down.
Are you stop watching them, or are they counting
absolutely.
15?
No. Stop watching them.
Nice.
Quick question, Mr. Shields. With the amateurs, do you have them running long miles or short sprints?
Sprints.
Short, every now and then we'll do like a 3-mile run, but everything is like a mile to 2 miles. The way you could really, you really go a good pace, and then slow it down a little bit, and you pick up the pace again. Everything is about heart rate.
One of the ones I used to do when I was in the Amis, it was I go to a real size track and I do at least a one, maybe a 600. You know what I mean? I do a 1 lap and a half a lap, and I try to get that done in 2 minutes as fast as I can. And then I take a 30-second break, shadow box, and try to do it again and match my intensity of my rounds as an amateur, because I hated the amateurs, because I already knew once I wanted to turn pro, and I knew once that headgear come off, it wasn't going to save you for what I had from the southpaw. But in the amateurs, man, you really got to be punching. And I was more of a defensive fighter, so I was like, this ain't for me. I'm just doing it till I get comfortable. But yeah, it's definitely different, especially with the headgear. I feel like they shouldn't use the headgears anymore. It cripples them when they turn pro. What do you think about the headgear in the amateurs? Because I feel like when they didn't use the headgear, it don't matter what style you had, it involved defense. But now that they use the headgear, I feel like it's a crutch.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, because, the thing about it in the gym, you always use headgear in the gym anyway. So, and in a real fight, in a real amateur fight, you use a headgear, but you use a lighter headgear. So it's not the same. It's different. But for me, I hated using headgears. I didn't like them at all. And when I had to use it, it wasn't the same for me.
You can't see.
I can't say that for everybody. Yeah, it was hard, but
there's more to hit too.
Sometimes when you headbutt, that headgear will save you. Not all the time. Sometimes it will save you. So it's a pro and a con to it. And you could talk to 1,000 amateurs and 500 is going to like it. 500 is not going to like it. So. So it's up in the air for me, but I really didn't care for it.
Ronnie, how do you help some of those amateurs transition? Like you were saying how, you want them kicking up on the bag. Sometimes it doesn't translate into the ring. Like, you could throw 1,000 punches on the bag and then you're not throwing those same punches in the ring.
But in the ring too, when you're training, I'm on them every day. Look, you got to let them hands go. And these guys get it. They get it in the ring. You have to, because if you don't do it in the ring, you're not going to do it in a fight. And I tell guys all the time, it's hard for you to do something that you're not used to doing. If you do it in the training, you're going to definitely do it in a fight.
That's
right.
That
just and if you don't, then you're not going to win.
Are these amateurs walk-ons? Like they just walked into your gym?
No,
Did they come from different states?
Not. Look, all the guys I got right now, like the 152-pounder, he has over 100 amateur fights. The heavyweight has probably close to 100 amateur fights. And I got, the little kid I have, he have over 100 amateur fights. So no, these guys got experience already.
Mr. Shields, I wanted to ask you, when you get people who want to become amateurs, how long before you have them sparring?
Well, I think, I don't have guys. I got guys that have a lot of fights already. But if I had a new guy, I mean, it would take me probably a month or two before I put him in the ring, so they could get, the experience of the hand pads and showing them what to do and how to do it, and then to just get that experience first before you put him in the ring.
Coach, if someone came to you and they said, look, I'm going to participate in a non-sanctioned amateur bout with headgear, 16-ounce gloves. I only got 8 weeks to train. I never fought.
Little smoker.
And my opponent has never fought. Would you train him, or would you tell him
Yes,
that it's too soon to get
No,
in
I
the
would
ring?
do it. As long as it's somebody that they're going to go in the ring with that's never done it before either.
You only got 10 weeks, sir.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. That's fine. But as long as it's somebody who's never done it before.
Can you teach someone the basic fundamentals in 10 weeks and
absolutely.
10
weeks is a long time.
And they'll look good, or they'll just get through the fight?
Well, I mean, it depends on how athletic they are.
That's right.
If I got a real guy that's really athletic and got the moves and everything already, and football players are really good at that. You can train them for 10 weeks and boom. Football players, basketball players, you can do that with them because they're really athletic guys. And so, it's just the fundamentals you got to teach them. So, yeah, 10
Depends
weeks
on
is a long
individual.
time to do.
Let me ask
Absolutely.
you. Let's talk about that
Alex,
Charlo jab.
Alex, you heard what he said.
What he said.
For 10 weeks. I'll be on the East Coast on March 4th.
I'm waiting, brother.
Go to Boots Gym.
Let's go, champ.
He gonna duck you, Troy. He gonna duck you. Coach, talk to me about that.
One thing you can't do. You can't duck me because I come to where you at. I'm like that.
He ain't giving up that location. But Coach, talk to me about the Charlo jab specifically. Is that one of those instances that you're talking about where he came into the gym with already athleticism? Or is that jab your tutelage, and how do you make someone else? Because, I got guys that call in here on the regular saying that Charlo has the best jab in the game. So can you make someone else have the best jab in the game?
Well, I mean, look, you got to have that athleticism to do it, number one. Number two, Jamal and his brother, they father was a fighter. So they've been going to the gym with him since they was walking. Since they first started walking, he used to have them in the gym. I remember these kids when they were babies. So when they was coming in the gym with their dad. And so, as a little kid, you look at your father, you look up to him, and you see what he's doing, and you start doing that age. So that's the advantage that they have over a lot of fighters that didn't have a father, a brother, an uncle, or somebody who they was in the gym with every single day. Their father was a good, decent amateur fighter. So, and when these kids was able to, like 5, 6 years old, they was coming in the gym, hitting their bags and doing all
looking
this stuff
good already.
And the first thing their father did with them was show them how to jab. So these kids been jabbing since they was 5 years old. So it's really easy when you got that already, and that's the difference between them and a lot of other fighters is these kids grew up with that.
Bred fighters.
What's a basic jab, drill that you can give out to anybody listening that wants to improve on their jab?
Well, the thing about the jab is, it's a step, stepping in behind with your power, stepping in with your body weight rather. If you got good body weight and balance, balance is the most important thing for any fighter. If you got balance, you gonna have powerful jab. If you use it in the right, and that's the most important thing is stepping with balance and able to keep your balance without falling off left or right. If you fall into your left or to your right, that means you got a balance problem. If you can throw a powerful jab and still be upright to throw another punch, you got it. That's it.
We got a few super chats here. Candy Slim 501 said, could Ronnie or Troy speak to the art of being able to break down a fighter? Not all fighters seem to think about it.
But you know, the way you break down a fighter is if you got video, you can break it down. You know, all you got to do is look at video and study. You know, that's the most important thing is, you know, you have to study fighters. You can't just go in there, not look at them and say, okay, I'm going to break him down. No, you have to break him down with your eyes first. You know, you have to see everything and know when this guy's going to do something and how he's going to do it. And then you got to have to counter for that. So that's how you break a fighter down.
And what do you think?
You don't get it. You don't get in there and just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this to him and do that."
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say, Ronnie. You know, you got some boxers that say they don't watch tape. You know, how real? Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how real is that? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, trust me.
Like, you know, you're fighting for your life. Why not be in the war room? You know, looking over tape. You know,
right.
You got. I think Mayweather too was one of the guys that said he never watched tape, but I never really believed him. You know.
No, like I ain't gonna lie, like, cause for me being a boxing and watching so much tape, sometimes you watch so much tape that your mind gets clouded and you just need to like get off the tape and go in the gym and actually work the moves. And then Floyd been boxing so long, he already kind of figured out these guys either gonna come forward, go backward, or try to stand in front of me, and he has already things in place for everything you're gonna do. And when you've been boxing that long, it's not about tape. You can literally get in there and read the guy. But some guys like to watch tape.
It depends on how good the fighter is. Though.
Fighter is,
you know,
yeah, most
it
definitely.
Depends on how good the fighter is. You know, you could say, "Oh, no, I don't need to watch this guy, watch that guy." But trust me, I'm gonna give you an example. When Floyd fought Jose Luis Castillo the first time, trust me, he didn't watch him at all the first fight. Okay? In the first fight, he actually beat Floyd, but he didn't get the decision. But the second fight, it was a totally different story. Floyd stopped this guy because, trust me, he knew then. Because you don't have to watch it once you've been in there with a guy. You already seen him and know what he brings to the table. But the mistake he made, if he didn't watch him the first time, you know, he made a mistake not watching him the first time. But once you get in there and go in there with him, okay, now you already know. Okay, I know what I got to do because I didn't know that the first time, but I know this time I know.
I see. You got another one coming in from Coach Myers, and he said, "How does Charlo beat Canelo? Lara is a better boxer than Charlo and still lost to Canelo. So do you box Canelo or mix it up at times?"
Well, I'm not going to say how I think we should fight him because we haven't fought him yet. And, you know, for me, I already know how we're going to fight him, but I'm not going to say how we're going to fight him. You know, that's one thing I'm not going to give up. But, look, you know, I still think Lara won the fight, you know, by outboxing him. But, you know, the judges didn't agree. So that's what it is. But Charlo has a different style than Lara, but Charlo also has more power than Lara. So, and Charlo has a better jab than Lara did. So, it's a lot of things that we could play with in order to beat Canelo. And I know how to do that, but I'm not going to say it.
Let's go, champ. Got Brandon Lenz, and he's asking you. Actually, he says, ask Ronnie Timmy Chan over Popeyes. How?
Ooh.
Who was that?
Timmy Chan's. I think it's a chicken fried chicken spot.
Oh,
right?
No. Popeyes all day long.
Popeyes.
What happened to Bojangles? I heard was that what DeMarcus said next? What's that place called?
Yeah, I think he
Bojangles?
did say that.
Yeah.
But that's in
Popeyes.
Dallas, though. That's in Dallas. But Steve in the UK says, if you could do your 2 world title shots again, what would you do differently, i.e. training or in the ring fighting? Thanks, Steve in the UK.
Oh, for me, fighting. Fighting always. Always. I mean, if I had the chance to do it again, definitely I would say fighting.
But what would you do differently in those title shots that you had?
Oh, what I would do differently?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, you know, I think when I fought Hamada in my first world title fight, I don't think I would do much different. I mean, I still thought I won the fight, but the judges saw different, you know. But in the second fight with Billy Castillo, I would stay home and train. I wouldn't I wouldn't go to New York to a place that I wasn't used to go and train for the world title. And I didn't want to go the first time. I was kind of forced to do it. But, you know, that's what it is.
All right. That's it. So, Ronnie, I want to thank you, obviously, for coming on and talking boxing. We do appreciate you, as always. But those are all our questions at the moment. And yeah, if you want to give out your social media, I know you on Instagram these days.
Yeah, man.
Give it out.
At official Ronnie Shields.
Official Ronnie Shields. You heard
man.
it.
Oh, well, Ronnie, man, thank you once again. Get back to those amateurs, and we appreciate your time as always. All right,
man, I really appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
All right, brother.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. World-renowned trainer, Ronnie Shields. We're going to open up these phone lines. We're going to go out to all the callers. You know the number to call in, 14255695241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People
lit
hotline.
for real. I just want to thank y'all, brothers, man. Y'all, that's lightweight lit. And I seen Ronnie Shields mad times just out going to boxing events in LA and being in Vegas, but man, that's just to be able to really, that's why I wasn't talking at first, bro, because I didn't feel like I should just be talking. You know what? I wanted to let him really talk, bro, because that's Ronnie Shields. And then I just waited, and then when you tell me, hey, jump in there, then that's when I jumped in. But I just wanted to see if I can catch something that I haven't heard ever before. And then I'm glad you reminded me, bro. Thanks, but I appreciate that. I learned a lot.
Oh, we ain't catch this one. That would have been good to get his opinion. He said, lies, boxing expert did. Lara dismantled Trout. Maul went the UD. I think Jamal did good. I mean, I got to go back and watch it, man, because people keep talking about this Jamal Charlo and Trout fight. Yo, did y'all see Trout posted a picture of him and Broner on his social media this morning?
Yep.
No, I didn't.
Yep. I want all that smoke. That's what he said.
You know, I reposted that ASAP.
Hey,
what do you mean he wants all the smoke?
What?
Like he'll take that fight, against Broner if they want to make it happen.
He'll fight Broner. Remember that Trout has already had 2 back-to-back fights at 148.
Oh snap! And Trout is kind of big though. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, I want him to get the Crawford fight,
small guy, bro. He bigger than me. I seen him in Vegas. Trout kind of big, bro. That's a hard fight for Broner.
He need one
Trout
decent.
Gonna be really boxing.
He need one decent welterweight
He need
fight.
me to spar. I need to spar Broner for that actually, cause I could box like Trout. You know what I'm saying? But that's a hard fight for Broner. I don't think he should be But then again, like Mr. Shields said, somebody coming down, you never know. You just never know.
Coming down, it's a little tougher, man.
Yeah, I mean, Trout just needs one decent fight at welterweight, and he's got himself a title shot. He could get a win over a Josecito, a Broner, undefeated Santillan, who's going to be facing Delorme. Ain't Delorme fighting Santillan now? Who we thought lost.
He is. Not Santillan, but Santosis or something Sanitosis.
Did you just say French toast?
French toast.
I don't know. Have do me check it out. But the point is that we thought he lost to DeMarco. So hopefully, Delorme looks good in this fight. Or the dude is stunned. Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm on it right now. It's Santi. Well, he's actually not even up here. He's not on BoxRec.
No. It's like a Coppinger and Pugmire. One of those guys got it reporting it.
Okay.
But chess. Let's go out to these callers.
Let's go! I'm ready!
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
I mean, in Essex. What up, champ?
Joe.
Just like
king is what I mean. My down back. The king is what I mean.
Hear ye. It's Giovanni Santillan.
Yo. Wagwan, listen, great show this morning, fellas. You just threw me off with that Broner and Trout. That would be a potential fight. I think Broner gets up for that fight, man. And maybe I'll drink the Kool-Aid. I said I wouldn't watch another Broner fight unless it was for big stakes. I think this is the kind of challenge that he could and should get up for, unless I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid, man. Trout coming down to 147 and Broner, feeling comfortable at that weight. I feel like since Broner's more like he feel like he's like a counter rolling punches kind of fighter, Trout is going to give him that offense and put the pressure on him with that nasty southpaw style. I like it, man. I like it. But as far as the middleweight division, man, Ronnie Shields always giving us some good game. I threw out the Triple G question because I ain't want to ask it in that way, but I feel like Triple G is ducking everybody except Canelo at middleweight, and that might be, a obvious statement. But yo, man, I would love to see Charlo just wash Triple G, so that way there is no discussion made if a catch weight or whatever it is. But pretty much my call, man.
We going out to Adrian, Wisconsin.
Adrian.
Can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
What's up?
Yeah, man. A lot of interesting fights coming up. A lot of interesting fights happened. I'd like to see Broner. I like to see that fight. I wasn't convinced Broner's necessarily back after his last performance. But yeah, man, just a good show, y'all, man. Good content. And y'all continue on with your warning, and I look forward to seeing y'all in Florida.
When you land, champ?
We leaving Thursday, so we probably gonna get in there Thursday night, so we can have Friday during the day and kind of acclimate to the time change and all that.
Okay, hit me up, man. Hit me up.
All right.
Most definitely.
All right, brother. We're going out to Brandon in Cincinnati. What's going on?
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up from back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. From jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pitch and let 9 go. We slap with the thick glass and white though. This only happens in Ohio.
Yo, Ness, what's going on? Can you hear me?
What up?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody on the panel? Delorme's fighting Stenosanis, or whatever his last name is. The guy that beat Justin DeLoach.
Yeah,
I think he got some weird.
He also lost, though. He lost to DeMarco, remember? He just won. He just got the win, though, right? But then he lose to DeMarco.
You got your goofy S last names mixed up. Stenosanis is like the Polish guy, the white guy that stopped Justin DeLoach. That's who he's fighting.
The guy from Lithuania. Now I got him. I thought it was some other guy.
I was talking about. I thought it was Stantinius.
I told you, Stanios. You guys weren't listening to me. You said, "Dude, I told you, man, Stanios." Y'all not listening.
Bro, you didn't even say the name right.
I said not Staniali. I said Stanios.
You said
Stanialius. What the hell?
That's what you said. What the hell, Stanialius? Whatever you said, bro.
Bruh, I said Stantinius or Stantonius. I don't know.
Check your headphones, man. Y'all niggas. Go ahead.
Yeah. Man. So yeah. Delorme about to probably get slumped, but on the topic,
Delorme tough, man. He put everybody down except Crawford, basically, man. Like he be putting dudes down.
He does,
and
but
he's
still
gotten better. I ain't even gonna front. He's gotten better with time, but maybe you're right. Maybe he's already been in too many wars too.
Yeah, but as far as the main topic, I don't know, man. Like y'all said, y'all gonna buy it because y'all love boxing. Maybe I don't love boxing then, because I'm not buying this shit. I don't think this is pay-per-view worthy, and I don't know, man. It was just a regular boxing card.
You done
R2D2 champ.
Yeah, you in another realm right now.
You went Star Wars on us.
But we gonna go out to J Mac.
So you hating?
I'm that guy. What you want to bet on? Bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money, right? Easy. You bet $1 million easy. And I for the bread. When I him, y'all gonna say he was too weak on my life.
Okay, bow down, bitches. I'm about to handle business. I'ma teach you all a lesson. This'll only take a minute. Got a part and all this passion in my blood. Niggas hating just because. Think about it. Everybody love Bud. J Mac, where you at? Where you at? All these niggas hating on me. Shit is whack. So official with it. Go and check the stats. Hey, I'm out here trying to get it. Next, I only got a minute. Get ready for the back attack.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Yo, good morning. Shout out to Ronnie Shields. Definitely haven't agreed with him with his Andrade. He be ducking that fade and ducking that question when anytime Andrade comes up. Charlo sitting at 160, talking about he ain't got no fight. He could go unify with Andrade, and that's the fight we've been waiting for years. But he definitely, I do agree with him with the balance. Anybody that know when I break stuff down, I always say balance is strength. And balance actually take and fix a lot of problems with fighters had. Like when Kenny Porter took it out of context without speaking, Sean has fast feet, but his hands to me don't match his feet because he got to stop to throw his punches. That's not balanced, and that's why he missed a lot of chances to punch place or take advantage of what he does by jumping in and closing the gap so fast. I have no interest in the topic. Shout out to Canelo, the greatest boxer alive, fighting nobodies. I forgot all my slander I had. But that's my cause. That's my cause.
Hey, what happened?
It's funny, man.
Shit, fighting nobody.
Meanwhile,
hey, yo, Mac,
who's his favorite fighter? Who's his favorite fighter for? If Canelo's fighting nobodies, who's your favorite fighter for? That's.
He was on a. He was going good until he jumped out the window.
I mean, that's normally what happens, man. They can't. They can't hold
like
the
how
same
do
call.
you know all that information that you just said, but then you can't recognize Canelo was good?
Because he's a hater. It shows you. He's also a coach, so you know. I wonder. How do you tell your fighters not to watch Canelo?
Yo, super.
Yeah. Hey, Ned, I want to say, man, I want to give you the award from my show, just being a guest on yours. It's the Garlic Butter Gangster Gratitude Award.
Oh,
you got bars today, bro. Like, how do you tell your fighters not to watch Canelo?
Exactly.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
Dr. Plans had a super chat, fellas. Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola is less competitive than Chris Arreola versus Mario. Mario. Where are you, Mario? Now, I think that was it for the super chats. We ain't missed none of them. Nope. We got it. Who's next?
Majid in Orlando. Well, Ohio. Just listening. One time, two times.
I'm gonna just say this while we trying to get somebody on. Like, I get it how I kind of be looking like the bad guy because, like, you know, everybody, like, I guess because I'm black, I'm supposed to be only liking black fighters. But the thing is, even on my channel, I don't care who you is. If you not getting work, I ain't really talking about you. You got to get in the ring, bro. I don't care what color you is. I want to see improvements. I want to see all of this. If there ain't nobody to fight, that go for Errol, Charlo, any one of these guys. It's guys to fight, my G. It was Buds and Boo Boo and, you know, those guys. Castillo Clayton is still out here. He fought Earl in the amateurs. You know, he was at #1 in the IBF and I mean the WBO for a couple years. His name Castillo Clayton. He from Canada. He a Haitian. He was a Haitian Olympian actually. Shout out to you, Castillo. But you know, shameless plug. But I'm just saying, he just fought Lipinets.
We interviewed him. And we high on Castillo, man. I told Crawford and Crawford fans to fight Castillo before he even fought Lipinets, man. They didn't want to give him a shot.
The reason
he
why
wasn't known.
the reason I feel like he fought Egas because Egas was a 2-time Olympian and Castillo is just an Olympian. Even though I'm not saying just an Olympian, but Egas was a 2-time Olympian. So like, I feel like Castillo is kind of on the PBC side. And no, I don't know actually, but I want to say I would like to see Castillo fight like one of these other guys coming up, like a Boots or like somebody like that. Like that's a good fight because you know whoever wins that can go.
If I'm Castillo, before I fight Boots on Showtime, I got to get a win on Showtime. Y'all just robbed me on Showtime. I'm not about to come back and fight y'all other up and coming guy that y'all want to win also on Showtime. It's a setup. I wouldn't do it. Money got to be crazy, right? Because dog, how you
didn't think that was a draw?
Nah, I thought Castillo won that fight, man. He outboxed that dude to me.
I thought it was a draw because you know the crazy part is Ness. I was like,
you breaking up? You on
Shadow Realm.
You on that Wi-Fi today?
Yeah.
Yo, you gone with the R2D2. You and your man in Ohio. Y'all in Ohio with the bad internet. Still can't hear you, Chan. We cannot.
You Star Wars. You Star Wars right now.
He
Chan.
must don't hear us. That's how bad his internet is.
And when he was not doing,
yeah, he's done.
That's it. He went behind the curtain. Wizard of Oz style.
What is up?
In the fight.
Yo, you definitely got bad internet. We couldn't hear anything you said. We're gonna go out to Stunner in New Jersey. Talk to us.
The #1 Stunner.
Let's go, TBV.
What up? Buenos afternoon now.
True. Yeah, true. I just got up. All right, so as far as this Ruiz pay-per-view, I mean, I find it pretty hypocritical because like 2-3 weeks ago when Wilder was the topic and we were talking about Wilder facing Charles Martin and the likes of that, I remember somebody, I don't remember who specifically, somebody was like, oh yeah, this can't be a pay-per-view fight. So I find it funny how a dude who broke Muhammad Ali's record, his fight's not going to be pay-per-view, but this fat ass who like, it's ever...
Hey, what happened?
But let me say this though, as far as Canelo versus Yildirim,
who got the bigger win? Who got the bigger win? Since you called him a fat ass and don't think he belongs on pay-per-view, who got the bigger win?
Wait, between who?
I mean, who the hell you just compare him to?
No. I was going to talk about Canelo separately. What I was going to say about Canelo is...
No, you compared Andy Ruiz to someone in the beginning of your conversation and then questioned why he on pay-per-view. And I'm asking you, who got the bigger win? And that's your answer.
I think Wilder having a draw with Fury and knocking out Ortiz outdoes him being Anthony. Anthony Joshua ran out of the United States after he lost.
You sound crazy right now, man. You sound crazy.
But let me just say this. Let me say this.
You can't get a draw and call it a win, bro. What's wrong with you, man?
I didn't say it was a win.
But you just said getting a draw is bigger than fucking knocking out AJ.
I said his draw plus the Ortiz win outdoes what Ruiz did against Joshua.
Ortiz big win over who he beat.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Who Ortiz beat or who he didn't knock out, matter of fact. Come on, bro. Keep the energy the same.
Answer me this though.
What?
So Ortiz knocks out Bryant Jennings in 7 rounds. It's nothing. But Rivas struggles with him, loses every round.
Doggy. You still talking Bryant Jennings, my man? You fucking tripping right now? Ortiz fought Bryant Jennings on fucking HBO. HBO don't even exist no more, Stunner. You tripping? You don't want to win the argument.
I brought him up because you've been calling Oscar Rivas a legitimate opponent.
Come on, man. Oscar Rivas beat Bryant Jennings. Joe Joyce beat Bryant Jennings a long time ago,
put you to sleep.
Come on, man. You tripping, man. You going in your bag. But that's what you got to do. You do got to do that because Ortiz ain't did nothing besides be a tough dude with mad experience.
Bro,
he
you
ain't
upset
beat
because
nobody.
nobody's trying to pay for no fat fuck pay-per-view.
No,
sorry.
You upset because wasn't nobody trying to pay for Wilder and Charles Martin. That's why that shit ain't announced. You upset, so you came in here talking shit about the fight that is announced.
Yo, not one YouTuber is an Andy Ruiz like top fan. There's not a single YouTube page who promotes Andy Ruiz. He has no fan base, bro. Ain't nobody buying.
Man, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck that got to do with anything? He got no fan base. Let's check his YouTube channel. He got no fan base. Let's check his IG page. He got no fan base. Let's check his fucking Twitter. He got no fan base. Let's check his last fucking fight. He got no fan base. Let's check his fucking paycheck. His sponsorships. What the fuck is you talking about? Bringing up Jennings over here looking crazy, man. Yo, he beat Jennings. He beat Jennings. Man, that shit was like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, man. You tripping, man.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Hey, JP, are you talking? You ain't press one on Blog Talk.
Blog Talk.
All right, so that is all the callers, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Do appreciate everybody that tuned in. We do appreciate the Boxing Talk. We'll be back with another one. Remember, I'm going live late night for the West Coast at 9. I got a show with Teofimo Lopez Sr. We're gonna be talking about that big 6.02 milli. You know, the big pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view.
Getting paid out
you know,
here,
it's a pay-per-view. People wanted to see T.O.'s numbers. Here we go. We about to find out what's his numbers. It's a pay-per-view. And he clarified yesterday on his Instagram Live that it's a pay-per-view and it's his own main event. He made it clear he's not on the Mike Tyson undercard.
Yeah, they circulating those pictures around. You know, the little poster with Tyson.
Yeah, but
and,
that was done by Mary Designs. That's a content creator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is how sometimes things get misconstrued, and like some people reached out to me too. It's like, hey, you serious? Is that really happening like that?
Yo, that dude's a fat fuck, man, because he's a unified champ, man. He's a first heavyweight champ in Mexico. He's a fucking he's a fat fuck, man. He don't deserve a pay-per-view. Dudes be
Everyone in
tripping.
this room is now dumber.
Dudes be
for having
tripping,
listened to
man.
it.
They be fucking tripping.
I
yo.
award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Davidian, what up?
Cheer.
Yo, what's good, TBV?
What's up, man?
What's good, Ness? Nothing. So Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola about to get it on. And it's gonna be pay-per-view.
Yep.
That's the rumor. Nothing's official till it's official.
Oh, okay.
They
I want to see him. I
putting
want to
it
see
out
Andy
for this
Ruiz.
reason exactly.
I like Ruiz. I want to see him. Long as he in shape. He better have his shirt off at the weigh-ins. Don't do that stuff where he had the shirt on and the gut was hanging out. And,
I mean, his shirt.
But he seemed like he in shape though, so I'm not gonna say nothing. As long as he in shape, he's a good fighter though. So
he's lifting his shirt up in training, man. His stomach look flat.
His shirt off now. I mean, he's showing the new
yeah,
body.
and he with Reynoso and Valdez and of course Nello and Ryan. So that's a pretty good stable. I honestly forgot about Andy for a minute, but.
Hell yeah, that's how big that stable is. Shout out to Twin in Orlando reminding us on the super chats. I'm taking it all the way back. Backity back.
Going. Back.
I remember stopping on Ken Stone. Then we did Jaime, Any Noise, Loma. Yup, we did that. Jay Lewis, Pavekin, A Better Pro. We did that. Twin says $75 pay-per-view always felt like too much. 50 I thought was fair. I know only $25. But I don't know. All pay-per-view should be 50 max, in my opinion. Shout out to Triller. I mean, I would love $25 pay-per-views. I ain't gonna even front. I would love a $25 pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the last time I saw a $30 pay-per-view, man,
with John Dudley John Dudley versus fucking Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yo, go watch that Lonnie Smith
And that
fight,
shit was
too.
actually like $49, man. You know
You
what
heard
I'm saying?
that Julio Cesar Chavez versus Lonnie Smith.
Oh,
Go check
I
that
watched
one out.
that in
You
Mexico.
watched it? Yeah,
In Mexico.
that was a tough one for him. I think.
Wait. Julio Cesar Chavez. Was it? I don't know. I think I got it confused. I'm with Marquez. I got to check it. But I think I watched that Lonnie Smith one. Let me get to a counterpunch. J-Mac, talk to us.
Mac Attack. Mac Attack, are you there?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Clear, champ.
Okay. Look, like Ronnie Shield said, man, my hate started when Lara beat Canelo and he got the decisions. That's when I realized what type of fighter Canelo was going to be. That's going forward with these judges and these scorecards. I have Canelo beating Trout, and I think he actually dominated Trout in my opinion. I don't think the fight was as close as most made it, but I did have Lara beating. Yeah, Lara could have did more. Yeah, Lara took off like Ronnie said once he got that cut, but I think he still beat Canelo, and I think it came down to the fact of Canelo being a bigger star. My problem with Canelo is on this show.
Hey, I just want to say this real quick. Can you hear me, man?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when I first watched the Canelo and Lara fight, I really thought Lara won because I wasn't a Canelo fan. Cause I was kind of like, man, they trying to boost dude up. He ain't sweet like that yet. But then when I went back and I put my feelings aside and I really understood boxing, so another couple people kept saying, no, bro, I thought Canelo. A couple of my homies like, man, no, I thought Canelo won. You can't be boxing like Lara like that and win a fight. And I kept thinking, like, why do they keep saying that?
Yeah.
He was throwing a double jab. He was landing it. And then I went back and watched the fight, bro. Lara never won that shit, dog. And I don't even mean to talk like that. Listen, you can't win a fight throwing a 1-1-2. He didn't throw no body shots. He didn't throw the hook that much. I can count the times he threw the check hook. You can't win. It's like when Golovkin fought him. You throw 3 body shots. How do you win a? That's not boxing. Lara literally is just doing this the whole Canelo fight. Like, I did a film study on the fight, and that's how I know Lara lost. Because when I do the film study, I call out everything play for play. Lara's jabbing, nope, Canelo's jabbing. A lot of that fight that I watched of Lara when I did the film study, it was a lot of Lara running around, like just going around using. This ain't the amateurs, bro. I know y'all mad at Canelo. This ain't the amateurs, though. You have to throw punches. You have to dig to the guts. You have to show the judges you're in charge. Not one time did Lara in that fight show ring generalship because Canelo was able to come to him the whole fight. He was walking through the punches, dog, catching them in the high guard. And then number 2, Lara didn't throw any body shots. Number 3, throwing a 1-1-2 is not it. He doesn't move his head. His feet is on his only line of defense. That's why anytime you put a Jerry Hurd or there's gonna be problems. You have to have.
You know what it was, King? It was the fact that Lara gave him a different look, and you got to see Canelo get a little frustrated in that fight. I think that's why. Because I went back, and I think that's too, right? We went back and looked at it on a film study, if I'm not mistaken, and we were like, oh shit, like this looks a little different. I had Canelo winning.
I had Canelo winning the first time I ever watched it live. But, guys, I hate to be that dude, but I am. We got Super Chats. JB Cinema says people might tune in to see how much he has improved with Reynoso. Hashtag marketing angle. Hands up emoji. And that's what I said. There's so many angles. They're going to tune in because of Canelo. They're going to tune in because of Reynoso. They're going to tune in because of Andy. They're going to tune in because of his Mexican. I mean, I think it's a doable fight. But I don't know about you guys. If no thoughts, I'm moving on to the next one. Jaime Nieto. I'm into this fight. 2 Mexican heavyweights and Andy's return in shape. Ness right. This is going to be an event. I'm down. Let's go chant, man. That's right. We boxing fans, man. Fucking boxing fans. Anybody got thoughts on that? If not, moving to the next one. KD DR, if this fight sells over 250,000, how will it be good for boxing and EJ? They say Ruiz, the new pay-per-view king at PBC, or fighting Arreola. Thank you, Al Heyman. I mean, what's wrong with that? If Ruiz does 250,000 pay-per-view buys on this fight, that means that the fight with him and Wilder is doable. Non-title. You understand?
Oh, that make even more sense.
It's the problem.
Oh my
Yo, is
God,
that
that's why they're doing that.
Brother, they're so hateful.
Be Arreola because Wilder beat Arreola.
They're so
And that's how
hateful.
you
They
get
can't
the
even
fight.
see like business. It's like, oh fuck, Wilder should be the one in the pay-per-view. How about we position both guys so they can do a big pay-per-view together instead of being such haters, man? Oh, why not Charles Martin? Like, what the fuck, bro? The hate is
bro.
real.
Hey,
go back to the docks where you belong.
That makes sense because when you want to fight somebody, you have to beat who they beat in a better fashion because it brings up the inception like, well, what if they fought?
Exactly.
Like, that's why everybody keep talking about Canelo and Andre Ward because they share a common opponent. So, like, come on. Like, I know this. Like, they share a common opponent. Once you share a common opponent, why do you think everybody wants to see Terrence Crawford fight Sean Porter? Because Errol Spence fought Sean Porter. Danny Garcia fought Sean.
Well, they
Terrence
both
Crawford
fought
has
Brook
to fight
now.
Sean Porter.
They both fought Brook now. Just a little.
Yeah,
late.
and they both fought Brook. So everybody wants to see that now. So, like, they have to fight. Like, if Andy Ruiz wants to move up again, because the Joshua fight was a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Because they literally was just saying dude was out. He wasn't the actual opponent. So, like, he lucked up on that. He just happened to be in the right place and was prepared. That's when opportunity meets preparation. That's what luck is. So then on the back end, he is worthy of a pay-per-view because he actually beat a guy nobody thought he can beat. So now his own pay-per-view, we need him to beat Arreola. So now it brings up the question, hey, he knocked out Arreola crazy. And then Wilder knocked him out. Let me see what he do when them two match up. And then when whoever win out of that is going to go right back to Joshua.
Yo,
it's really that's.
Let me ask y'all something. Wasn't Wilder's pay-per-view with Luis Ortiz the second fight?
Say that again, Ness?
Like, didn't Luis Ortiz Wilder, wasn't that the second fight pay-per-view? They did like 275, right?
They did have a pay-per-view.
Yeah, is it
I
only?
don't know the I don't know the numbers. You know,
Yeah,
I've never been good at that.
All
But
right, so that's my point. This is what I'm saying. These boxing fans are so fickle. I was a Stone Cold Wilder fan. You couldn't tell me that he needed to rematch Luis Ortiz. People that people that lied and said that, oh, the commission helped Wilder and all this bullshit, right? So
it was 275. Ness.
So I didn't care. He fought Luis Ortiz on a rematch. I didn't sit here and say why he fighting Luis Ortiz on a rematch. No, I bought that shit. And we did a live fight chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes need to stop hating, man. Stop hating. The world is big enough for all of us to eat, man. Y'all so fucking like lame.
Everybody can eat, B.
So lame, man. We got the next one is from.
Did you get that Dr. Plans? Ness, I missed your reaction to Comney versus Martinez.
Yeah.
Where you got it?
No, but I'm not on that yet because I'm going down the line. So Dr. Plan says Andy Ruiz versus Arreola is less competitive than. Oh, you said that. They definitely said that. And now you said this one as well. That huge.
Well, no, I didn't say it, but go ahead.
Oh, Ness, I missed your reaction to Comey versus Marina. Well, I didn't watch it live with the transition and shit. It was, I think that day I found out my fucking my ESPN was already expired, and I had to resubscribe, and I just did the Disney, and I'm watching all the Marvel shit. But yeah, so I didn't have any live reaction, but I was impressed. I mean, I didn't expect fucking Comey to do what he did, especially the way that he did it. I thought Martinez would show the same boxing ability he showed versus Roly.
Roly. He said, were you just picking with your heart?
Was I just picking with my heart? No. I think I was definitely picking off of what I seen him do to Rolly. It's just that simple. You know, obviously Rolly's not on the level of Coleman, I get that, but I wanted to ride. I wanted to ride with him. You know, we talking about Mexicans gonna come out for Andy. Why the fuck can I come out for my guy? Like, I don't get it.
Exactly.
Like, why can't I be happy for Jason Rosario to be a unified champion? Why can't I be happy that Joan Guzman is out here training in Gleason's? Why can't I be happy that Marina's beat fucking Rolly? Why can't I be happy that Javier Fortuna is gonna get a fight with Devin? Like, why can't I be happy?
Michelle out here doing his thing.
Dudes are so fucking, they hate so much.
Lagarza too did his thing.
Yo,
Rivera.
We got boxing expert that says, I had Trout, Korobov beating Maul. It is what it is. I don't know about Trout beating Maul. What the fuck? I wonder. I got to go back and see this now. People tripping right now. Andrew Gomez says, Canelo was hitting Laura with hella body shots. And then Boxing Experto comes back and says, CYP lied yesterday. Trout, Floyd, Lara, and Jacobs all ranked higher than Andrade and Jamal Charlo. Facts. All colored fighters. I mean, I don't know if we use the word colored anymore, but he's talking in reference to CYP saying that Canelo.
Right. I don't know if the reason he threw that in there is because Lara.
No. It's in reference to CYP saying that Canelo fights he's only fought 5 black fighters in his whole career, or every 5 years, or every, I don't know, something like that. It was a yesterday debate.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, I thought Laura was black. Laura's black.
Yeah. No,
he's black as me.
Yeah, but he's Hispanic, so I don't know if he didn't say black fighters for that reason, but colored is like.
See, hold on, bro. Listen. If you black as me, you black. Hispanic black. If you black as me, you black. I don't care if we're in India, Honduras. I don't care where we at in the world. If you black as me, you black. Am I calling you a black American? No. I'm saying you black though. How you get that black? Because your people was from Africa. You didn't just wasn't that black just by chance. You black, blood. Chill. It's okay to say that. The nigga black, bro. He a nigga. It's okay.
Like, they don't give him credit for Laura though. It's not because he's black or not considered black. It's that they seen it as a tight fight, so he automatically lost because of the hatred. But let me get to some callers. We got Long Beach in the house.
That was cute. You guys did it all together.
Yo, love, man. I'm psyched. You already know the chubby champion of the world, Andy Ruiz. JP is TBV's undisputed chubby champ. CYP taught me what undisputed means. Apparently, undisputed means if nobody disputes it, you're undisputed. So nobody, please dispute me being the undisputed chubby weight champion of the world in TBV. But I'm looking forward to that fight, man. I was thinking it was going to be in Los Angeles. Now, I know it's a sticky situation when I go to these fights out here in Los Angeles, man, because they be scrapping in these stadiums and shit at these Mexican fights. I never forget when I went to Estrada versus Chocolatito. Man, me and Fern Gully had to stand up on the seats. Motherfuckers was chunking them so heavy up in there. So, it's always a bit of a thing when you go to these fights. But I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to Ronnie Shields coming on, giving us some insight, some knowledge on it. As for Canelo, man, it's a simple thing. I don't want race to be used as a crutch or anything like that. It's simply put, and it's the same type of scrutiny Terrence Crawford is facing. When you're that good and you don't fight nobody we care about, you get criticized. And that's what it is. That's my call.
Hey, JB.
Yo.
JP, my bad. You saying they get busy out there in the stands, huh?
Oh, fuck yeah. I have to stand up on the seats, man. I'm like, I ain't trying to get hit from behind or nothing, or it was like several fights going down at once, and it was Nicaraguans versus Mexicans. I didn't know this exist. I'm like, shit, Fern, you look like one of them. I don't know which one. I think you Salvadorian, so we might got a problem here.
Wait, is Fern Salvadorian or Honduran? I know he got the
he's Salvadorian.
So is Cruz, by the way. Cruz is Salvadoran, by the way, too.
Yeah, Cruz too. Damn,
I just didn't know.
And what's the name? Marvin. They
and
deep.
Tank, yeah.
They deep.
Yeah, I ain't know, but shout out to them Nicaraguan women though. Shout out to them. They bathing them up.
Yo, shout out to you. CYP is on you.
CYP?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
Chin. We can't hear you.
See?
Did y'all get me?
Now we can.
All right, cool. No, I wanted to make this official. When my man Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, he was a star. But then he fought Evander Holyfield and lost. Nobody heard about him again. Andy Ruiz beat AJ. He was a star. Then he rematched him and he lost. We still hearing about him. But the reason we're hearing about him is because of his fan base. If Andy Ruiz didn't have that fan base, he wouldn't be in an all-Mexican affair. Looking for the Mexicans to come watch him fight. So that's the difference between Mexicans and black fighters, right? Black fighters have to do a whole bunch. They got to please the world. Mexican fighters only got to please Mexicans because Mexicans run boxing when it comes to fan base. I keep it real. Facts ain't never racial.
Hey, you're not keeping it real because the reason why black fighters be having these problems is they just won't support other black fighters. That's why.
Troy, don't call my man. Troy, I got a question for you. If race isn't important in boxing, why are you 8-0 and everybody you fought was Mexican and had a losing record? CYP out, clown.
Because I was trying to get fights up here and the promoters didn't want to give me fights. So I took it in my own hand. I'm a boss. I don't need no promoter. So I linked up with a guy named Felipe Leon and I asked him, hey, I want 10 fights in 10 months. And he said I could do that for you. So every month I hustled up my guap and brought him money because some of these black homies there's my own homies. We were supposed to be on these cars together. They never vouched for me. They never said nothing. I used to be like, come on, bro. Y'all not going to work. Tell the promoter I'm him. Like I'm training with y'all every day. I'm in Virgil's with y'all. They running with me, but then I'm asking them to put me on with the fights, and they not helping me by using their weight by being from Oakland. So that's why I just said, you know what? Once I get my own outlet, I'm going to just go to Mexico. This was before Haney and them was going. I was going to Mexico every month, paying out of this right here. Big money. That's what I was doing. I was my own promoter. So then I was taking guys who never boxed, who wasn't even coaches. I was putting people on. That's why I went. That's why I'm Cuerno de Chivo. And that's why they always wanted to put a black fighter. They called me Cuerno de Chivo. That's a Mexican fight name because I appeal to every crowd because I'm the leader of all of this, bro. I'm black. I get it. But just to say like, well, then no, because black fighters do not support their own. I've been a part of that. When I was going to Mexico because they wanted me to come back.
But it's hard to say that when
I came out here, Ness, it was a fighter named Arnold Barbosa. And it was a fighter named Abraham Lopez. They both fought for the top rank, and they fight on top rank shows
Abraham's
today.
my man. He Dominican and Puerto Rican. He trains
I know Frank
in Boston.
Yeah, I know Frank Stay. So I tried to get on top ranked cars. They were saying no, because it's going to be on Telemundo and, what is he black? And I should be like, yeah, well, is he slick? I don't even be fighting like that when I fight Mexicans. I go straight forward. So like I knew what it was then. No, y'all don't want me to smoke Arnold Barbosa. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing about me being black at all. I was 35 years old. He just didn't want me to smoke his man, bruh. Because I was living in Oakland with other black fighters and they wasn't trying to put me on. So I don't be wanting to hear that because I've been around black fighters and I can just, hey, bro, can you vouch for me? I could sell some tickets. They never vouched. The Mexicans is the people who told me to come fight with them. And I would just, all right, well, I'm going to come eat with y'all. Like, it's good. And then when I came back to the States, every time I fight, it was all love until I start knocking out every single body. Then my same black homies was hating. So I don't be wanting to hear that. I don't want to hear that, dog. I just don't want to hear it. It's clown talk.
Well, you got Coach Myers that came in with a super chat. Says Canelo versus Yildirim wasn't ordered by the WBC. Canelo requested to fight Yildirim. That's why he gets the slack for this fight.
That was a
Canelo
waste of $5.
Get
Waste
my
of $5. Yildirim was Benavidez's mandatory. Any fighter that fights for a vacant WBC inherits the mandatories. Yo, come on,
Take
bro.
it to school, champ.
Go ahead.
Hey, even if it, all right, just give him that and say he did choose him. Once I seen they sparred together, evidently they was homies and he wanted to give him a payday.
Brother,
Just like Al
listen to
Heyman
me.
made sure that Berto got a payday from Floyd.
Champion.
So like where's the,
How is
I
this
don't get
any
this,
different?
like,
How is this any different from fucking Andre Ward getting Alexander Brand and Sullivan Barrera, then fighting Kovalev? So what's the difference? It's a means. It's a means to like a necessary evil. Like you got to go through him to get the Billy Joe. Like I can't believe people still mad when the fight is announced. They're not arguing about money and sites. It's announced. He's literally fighting Billy Joe in another unification in less than 70 days. None of your favorite fighters have done that except Crawford. None of them. Just stop it. The fuck?
And Billy Joe is supposed to be another southpaw that is gonna give Canelo all these crazy
He ain't
problems.
black.
It
Billy
don't
Joe ain't
matter,
black, so he
'cause
ain't
Billy
gonna
Joe
win.
fight like a black dude.
But that's
So,
what
like,
that's the narrative, though. That's the narrative. They're trying to make Billy Joe this fighter that isn't good anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like he listen to me. Listen to me. Like, yo,
Troy. The fight, Billy Joe's terrible.
No, but check this out. Check this out. Billy Joe's not good, right? But he beat Chris Eubank 7 years ago, maybe, right? And if Eubank fights Charlo, what then? That was a fight for Charlo. We were campaigning for that fight. So I don't understand how one guy is good, not good. It's just crazy, man. It's just, you know, they're not real boxing fans, man.
Fight like an athletic black fighter to me. Like, far as if we're talking about styles and fights and how they be trying to say, like, Billy Joe has that style, and he's a southpaw. He's slick. He be moving. He be throwing combinations. That's supposed to be the style that gives Canelo problems. Charlo doesn't even fight like Billy Joe. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's two different styles. Charlo is not slipping and dipping and turning and check hooking. And Charlo don't fight like that. So how is it that you want him to fight a black fighter, but Billy Joe has the stereotypical black style as the slickster? Like, Charlo don't fight like Billy Joe. Like, I thought this was, man, like, this is the part where I'm just, it makes me mad, because then it's like a cop-out. Like, all right, I get it. We want these, listen, I want Charlo to get a payday too, but to put him in there with Canelo right now is basura. It's going to ruin him. Like, he's not, it takes time. Like, Ronnie Shields will tell you, it takes time to develop these young guys, dog. Because you got to remember, some of these young guys, they got $3 million in their account, liquid. Like, now we're talking about just boxing. They got liquid, $3 million in their account that they can just go to. Do you think if Canelo woke up with $3 million in his account, he would kill himself? Because his liquid is different. He still has to get up and train every single day. And we've seen guys who say they was hungry and come up and get the money. As soon as they get the money, it ruins them. Like, even, not Bernard Hopkins, but even Marvin Hagler said it's hard to train with silk sheets. When you wake up laying in silk sheets. Like, so let these guys grow, let them accrue some revenue in their account all the way up, and maintain that with all the fame and all the women pulling at them and all the money and let them cultivate all of that, and then still be able to do what Tom Brady do, what Floyd do. That's what make you sweet. Just trying to get in there and get paid and get hurt, it's not love like that. And that's when the joke stops for me. It's just not love like that. Let him grow. Canelo ain't nobody to play with. Man, believe me. Like, I'm nice in the ring, and I want to spar all these guys. But just to get in there and think I'm going to play with Canelo, no, like.
Coach Myers with a super chat that says Canelo requested do your research, 36-1 approved. You do your research. It was to call the mandatory, just like Crawford did with Velasquez sooner. That's it. The Yeardom was always in the picture. My thing is why no one was mad when Yeardom was scheduled to face Benavidez and he lost his belt on the scale. I'm struggling to like that is what happened. It's no different than Velasquez. We call it early to get it out the way because we're trying to unify with Billy Joe. But I see you a hater of Canelo because I guarantee you any other fighter, right? Whoever Charlo fights next is going to be okay because guess what? He can't get the big fight. But Canelo is fighting Yeardom so that he can unify in May, and he's a duck. I mean, we wasting time, man. We truly wasting time, man.
Hey, I just want to know what they're going to say when after he beat Billy Joe and then he say, I'm fighting Caleb Plant next. What they going to say? Well, hold on. Caleb Plant ain't black. Is they going to say that? Because Caleb Plant is supposed to be the guy.
No, you know I do
with
this
the
every day,
attitude.
champ. You know I'm here every day. They already said Caleb Plant ain't the one to beat him because he ain't knock out Truax.
Oh, no, that ain't what I be hearing on the blogs.
They changed their mind
They be-
already. Yeah, but you on that side. You from the West, so you might hear something different. Over here on this show, we hearing Caleb ain't that dude because he ain't beat Truax. He ain't knock him out. That's what we hearing.
Yo, got a super chat from Dr. Plans that says Charlo versus post beatdowns Trout was more competitive than pre-Mayweather Canelo versus undefeated Trout.
Charlo versus post beatdowns Trout.
Yeah, meaning that Trout wasn't the same guy he was when he fought Canelo and gave Charlo a better fight than when Trout was undefeated and fought Canelo. You feel me? So a dude with losses gave an undefeated Charlo more trouble than when Trout was undefeated facing Canelo. You get me?
I get it now.
Yeah, that's a good point, but at the same time, it's up to you as a boxer to learn from your losses, and I feel like Trout has learned a lot from his losses. And being in there with Canelo is very hard because he has defense. So listen, how the Charlos, not how they act, not their personality, not none of that, not how they wear they drip, not how they rip they whips, not how they talk. I'm not talking about none of that, people. I'm talking about how they put their hands up and technically stand. That's two different fights, dog. Canelo has defense. Charlo hasn't cultivated his defense to this point. So when you put a Trout in there who got athleticism and can inflict the jab, but he can't land the jab, then you like, wait a minute. I didn't think Canelo could do that. Then when you get in there with Trout and already had been in there with somebody that slick, and Trout doesn't move his head to the fact of Canelo, then you're going to have an easier fight. And I get it. But, like, that's the part where people keep asking for this Charlo fight. And I'm like, y'all got to wait because he should cultivate his defense a little bit better. You know what I mean? And Ronnie Shields knows that.
We got Supermex who says, when a fighter wins a vacant WBC championship, you must immediately defend against the mandatory. That goes for anyone. That's why Sean Porter fought Ugas. So we got Keem in Florida. Are you available? No Keem in Florida. No Keem in Florida. Yo, that means that we are done. Catch us on the next one. That's GTO. It was fun. I'm back at 6, but I might be right back too. I mean, I just seen some really great news. I mean, not great news because it's unfortunate, but it's great news to report on. So I might be actually back after lunch. I'm gonna eat some lunch, walk the dogs, be right back. But I'm also
what
back
you gonna
at
eat?
9.
What you gonna eat?
I don't know yet. Gotta see, man. But I've actually, I don't want to even prolong it. We got to talk off air because I've been eating a lot of stuff that, maybe you do and don't like. Because we heard Sean Porter say salads. Well, Ken Porter say that salads weren't giving Sean any nutritional value. And I just wondered, did he mean like romaine lettuce? Because there's other like.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. These guys really don't like a vegan just doesn't eat salads. Like, come on, bro. That's not a balanced diet.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, only romaine lettuce doesn't give you nutrition. But like, if you're getting a spring mix, that has different types of lettuces and spinach in there and all that.
Arugula.
You get in your stuff. You add in your carrots. You add in your onions. You add in your tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? You add in your almonds. You hooking up your salad. I mean, it's what type of, if you buying a fucking $1.99 romaine lettuce, you ain't gonna get nothing, champ. But if you getting a real salad, that's different. You know what I mean? But anyway, go.
I was about to say, but yeah, that's like, and I know Kenny because he from where I'm from, and like that's just the like sometimes where I be on my Ohio people. Like when you got money like that, you can't cut corners, dog. You got to get dietitians. You got money, like now it's time to stop thinking you know more than somebody who does this, who can really make your son fight at a certain weight by knowing the. And if you just put it like this, if you look on the back of anything and you're eating, it says that the daily average for everybody is 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
If you're a vegan, you need to maintain 2,000 calorie diet being a vegan. That's a lot of eating, bro. You got to eat a lot of vegetables. And that's just quick. So just think about that. When you look on the back of any candy, they say this is the FDA of this, a 2,000 calorie day diet. So it don't matter what you're eating, how your diet is, you have to make sure you're at least getting 2,000 calories, dog. And that's on a vegan diet. So that means sweet potatoes. That means nitrogenous foods, nitro. This shit that create fire in you, bro. That's what protein really is. It's nitrogen. So you need sweet potatoes, garbanzo beans, wheat, spelts, different beans. This stuff is easy digestible. It has certain fibers in it. They're what you call prebiotics. You know what I'm saying? And then if you eat too many of those, then you get your probiotics. Those are like the kombuchas and the fermented stuff. But if you just eat these things and drink enough water, dog, you will have enough nutrition. If you don't know that already, that's when you have to get help. You can't just feed Sean Porter lettuce, Kenny. Come on,
well,
bro.
He ain't never say he was feeding them lettuce. He just said they figured out salads had no nutritional value.
That's a lettuce.
It's you got to pick the foods that are nutrient dense foods.
Listen, fellas, we not doing nutriments right now. I got to go.
Let's
Next
go, champ.
GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Y'all about to go back down to health class again, and we got to be out of here. You know what I mean? Francis, tell them where they can find you, man.
You already know, man. Next up, Sports Talk, NEXUP. Also on the Weigh In Boxing on IG or the Weigh In on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Border Wars 10 around the corner, March 13. Get in the ring and swing. Let's do it.
You already know it's Alex _Doomsday _LAINEZ on IG, TikTok. I'm over there doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk. And Twitter, you got Alex Linus TBV. This is the Boxing Voice, Nestor Gibbs, Doyen Francis, yours truly, Alex Linus. If you like what you were listening to and you stumbled upon the show, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because if it ain't shaking, you ain't baking with us in the morning or anytime we go live. Ness said we just might go live after lunch, so hit that bell. And if you're interested in the memberships, go to the video description. The first link that says join this channel to get access to perks, click on that, and it'll send you over to our tiers. We have 3 tiers. Choose what's best for you. One of the ways you can support the channel, take advantage of those badge icons next to your name, knowing that you're a member, and also the cool emojis that we have for you guys on there, and much more. Thank you.
Keep in mind, moderators are moderators. We don't have any control over the moderator. You know, I don't have any way of telling the moderator what to block or not block. He is an emotional fan, just like a bunch of you guys. So when you say something about his favorite fighter, he probably times you out. Or his phone is in his pocket and they timed you out. You know what I mean? But, you know, I don't know every single time someone is timed out, nor do I have the way to find out, nor do I have the time during interviewing, taking a call, reading your super chat, keeping the flow along. So, like, You know, maybe you should check the boxing fans that you're in the chat with every day and ask them why they're so sensitive, why they get upset when you say something about their favorite fighter, you know. And,
sometimes the chat
for
is moving along pretty
quick. For those
quick.
that are being timed out, you know, maybe you don't remember the rules about not disrespecting the host or any of the guests. If you do disrespect a guest, you will be timed out. Next GTO, time to go.
Leaving no behind. We got a super.
There you go. Hit it, Francis.
Let's go ahead. You want me to get it?
Hit it.
Go ahead. Dr. Plans with a $5 super chat that says Billy Joe won't last 12. He doesn't live. What? He doesn't live the life.
The fighter lifestyle.
Say it again.
He doesn't
Billy
live
Joe won't last 12. He doesn't live the fighter lifestyle year round. Billy Joe's flab will be making waves from the impact.
All
Are you saying he's a fat boy? I think so.
Peace.
Peace.